Stickers off.
All right, what up, people? What's going on? We live for another episode of the Heroes No Capes podcast, stream, show, whatever this called. Episode 44. We still going. We still rocking.
Yeah.
We still boomering things, but it's pretty smooth for the most part. The more we get to it, we're just talking about, man. We enjoy this, man. This is fun. The people coming through. Y'all be lighting the chat up. But people, I am the abomination, known as AJ. All right, no soundboard, but imagine them clap sounds, yeah, all that type of good stuff. And I am joined by my homie, my man's, my co-host, Mr. Left Eye Ego. How you doing today, sir?
Sir, it has been a very long week. I am just glad to be back in here with you guys, kicking it on another Saturday morning. I am ready to go.
Yeah, it's been a long week, man. It's been a long week. But we got a show for y'all, you know, like always. We got some good conversation. Hopefully, we got people in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here already. Let me go ahead and address y'all. Like I said, Ego, he stay on me about going too long.
I do.
I'm gonna keep snitching.
I don't care. You know how much they see? Confidential informants make $80,000 a year. All right, so yeah, you did it.
So all right, pull up this chat. We got John A. Douglas. I'm not about to do all of those, but ooga chaka. Y'all know. John, actually, no, we're not talking about Quantumania. I don't give a shit about that movie, man. All this shit's dead on arrival.
I'm gonna have my guy on later on in a stream for me later this next week about it. So we'll talk about it.
Okay, so there you go. But I do pay attention to what's happening. All right. Dempsey, Saturday morning hype. Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Glad you're here. I can't stop this feeling. All right, he's singing the song. Y'all love it. Y'all on that Guardians hype. Nebula with no tits. Roman of the Empire. Good morning. How you doing, sir? We just had a great show. Me and Ego was on Romans. Groundbreaking comics.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, appreciate you for having us on, sir. It's beautiful seeing all these people coming up in the YouTube game and doing it. And we're building this community of having fun, remembering the old stuff, not forgetting what it means to be a geek and why we're here in the first place. So it's beautiful to see. C4C, good morning. How you doing, sir? There you go. Got that going. Yo, Copa. Copa came through with the yos.
One up.
Copa, did I show you already, man, or whatever? But there you go. Cannoli Sasquatch, my supernatural brother. How you doing, sir? Ducking and dodging. Hello, people. Let's get this. John, there you go. Actually speaking words and not that weirdo speak he was coming with earlier. Hail the Lord says, hail. What up? The best mod in the game. Doing the damn thing. We want Abomination AI. Hey, could be me. My homunculus is going to be based. Give us the AI. No, you just want him because you think he's retarded enough to have your way with him, Flashy. But no, I got a alphabet community fail safe on my homunculus. It's not letting it happen. You'll self-destruct though. Blow your thing. What up, Jimmy?
Oh,
That's the music man right there. So
word. Thank
we
you,
gotta,
sir. Thank you.
yeah, I gotta have him come through more often so we can send some of y'all his way. But
Yes.
yeah, when we jamming in the beginning, that's something else I gotta. I'm not gonna say I gotta work on that, but just make it flow smoothly. But y'all behind the stage or back, whatever, I'll be jamming to the music.
I'll be doing it too.
Yeah, I'll be seeing this. I can't dance, so ain't no telling what it looks like, but it makes you move. Man, come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You snitching on me, man. All right.
I respect. I ain't mad at it. Nah, bro, my hands be out here doing something, bro.
That looks even worse.
I'm not. Hey, bro, my chest bigger than Nebula's, man. I'm gonna shake what I got. All right, yo, ooh, hello, boys. I'm back. What up, Mephisto?
Yo.
How you doing, sir? Anybody else? Okay, JT Drum. That's the beat account, I guess. But what up? Ego, I'm gonna go with triplets. Like my dad taught me, eager beats petty. Bell wasn't interested.
That's what I thought. So he posted earlier. He was like, "Yo, you take the triplets from Beauty and the Beast, or do you take Belle?" I'm with the triplets. Okay, Belle. Gaston wishes Belle looked at her the way Belle looks at a book. Triplets was already about that life and that action, and they know sharing is caring. So I'm going with the triplets too, Mr. Douglas. I'm okay with that too. Eager and willing to please, always beats pretty. Thank you.
Look, I'm not mad at Belle going for a beast of a man. She probably was disappointed when he turned into little Prince Charming or whatever.
Bro, I don't know if you saw the. I need to bring back the crew neck sweater that I wore. It has Belle with the beast, and then here come the real beast from X-Men walking by with a book, and her eyes was on that beast. Okay, all I'm saying is now that they're in continuity, all I'm saying is if Beast pulls up with that, well, Belle, if you know this, you have the formula for that is intriguing. They're gonna have to wring her draws out after that. Okay,
I got you.
All he gotta do is read Good Night Moon to her, and it's a wrap.
I'm with it. Hank McCoy, okay. That's a man of a man right there.
Exactly.
B.A. Turner, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you being here. Held Lore already dropping those things. Flathead has eyes for the. I bet not see the mess going on. Fiona Wolf. Many settings, even outside of superheroes, are far too cynical and hopeless to have actual heroics anymore. So that's why I go indie for books, comics, and otherwise. I agree. We know that these franchises that we know and love are in the hands of people who don't respect them and despise us. So they would do whatever they can to shit on those projects. But think we check enough boxes, you should watch it. All right. SpiderMan shooting the web, right? Red and blue, right? That's all you need. But anyway, I'm not going. You got to watch Ant-Man today. Look, man, I'll pray for you.
Prayers up. I heard what happens, and bless you, sir. Bless your heart.
Hail all. What up, brother Graham? All right, those are all the comments. Let's go ahead and get to it. Ego, do you want to take this? First off, we going over the so Kevin Feige's. All right, well, let me backtrack. This show, we got Kevin Feige talking about Marvel content coming out and what's to expect with it or not to expect. Then we got Idris Elba. We talk about real issues on this channel, shit that's actually important to us. So this man coming out saying the things that he said, hey, man, spark some conversation. And we are not a monolith. No group or no people are a monolith. So we're going to talk about that. As well as the Flash trailer. Now, me personally, I won't be saying the movie. I don't give a shit about the movie, but it's nice to speculate and have fun and see what's going to happen. If y'all saw on the thumbnail, I'm rooting for George Clooney to make an appearance and be Damien's father. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know. I think Damien gonna be race swapped. And they getting the black dude from Cobra Kai, Lil Kenny, to play Damien.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
at this point, you have to just expect the worst because they always blow your expectations out of the water. It's like I knew you was gonna fuck up, but I did not know it was gonna be this terrible. So that's what I'm going for. He got that Damien energy. Let's put a sword in his hand and some assassin techniques, and there you go. And y'all gonna be racist if y'all don't like him. So if y'all hear that, we just had a dog get dropped off. So my wife is handling that. If you can hear it. If not, then pay no attention to that. Ego, do you want to handle that? Can you pull that up, or do I need to?
You already got it highlighted. You want to pull it up?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is not it.
Booming. I get it. Let me get it.
No, I got it. I just pulled a screen up from earlier.
Okay. You're the reason why people watch those 1995 Windows commercials.
So
I know. I'm like, man, I heard you click. I was like, I know where he's going to because I'll be doing the same thing. My click be loud as hell.
Can you scroll through it?
Not on my end. It's on.
I don't know your end. All right, bro. You should have pulled it up. Oh my goodness, y'all.
This is how we start, y'all.
He's a doctor. He's the smart one.
in my chosen field. What is the internet? I don't even know what that is.
Oh shit! All right, so while you figure that out, let me remove this and then you pull it up on your end. Does that work?
I got you. Yeah.
All right.
Let me do this. Here.
Make it happen, man. In the meantime, versus Dempsey's versus of the week NES game Zelda 1 versus Zelda 2. Dempsey, I personally didn't play those. I watched my dad play them. The Zeldas. So I don't really got you on that. Now, if you want to talk about Nintendo verse type conversation, because I was hyping up that Mario trailer. Y'all excuse me. But there you go. I think we talked about it before, but potential Nintendo verse characters. I need me a Banjo-Kazooie movie. Star Fox for the furries out there. I'd love to see that. With the space adventure, we in the ship, we blowing shit up. I was steering the wheel just then, I don't know what, but more like that. Who else? If DK seems like he's gonna have a movie, not exactly, but I mean they're introducing him. Hate Seth Rogen's voice, so it's gonna be trash. You ready to, man?
I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. I can start from more so from the beginning, or just like you want to go to the specific point though.
I don't like to bore the people, man. This is a long ass article.
You know what? I'll give you all the cliff notes. How about that? And then I'll go for your thoughts. How about that?
Hit those points, yeah. But my main point was after the Jonathan Major stuff, where you're talking about the actual content being pushed out and the how often or not often they'll be doing that.
Sure.
And I'll be bringing up the chat. Shelf Centered came through. But anything to
I got that there. And this is the last question. All right, I know where that is. It Eels. All right, so about embracing territory, the television too.
Let me see. Yes, right there. So right there, phase 4 was a transitional area. Yeah, that.
Got it. All right, so this is the Entertainment Weekly article that was run with Kevin Feige maybe about a week or so, maybe 10 days ago. And so here's the point. So phase 4 is a transitional era. Several of your original cast members left after Endgame, and you introduced a whole new group of heroes. You also started to embrace television, launching multiple shows on Disney+. What were some of the learnings or takeaways from some of those projects? Enter Kevin Feige. I hope we learned something on every project. I was very pleased with everything that we did. Kamala Khan, for instance, is a great new character in the Pantheon. I'm very proud of the Miss Marvel show. I also know, and this is a spoiler, she essentially steals the Marvels, which is coming out July 28th. Big surprise. It makes me excited that people will, I hope, see that movie, and then go back and revisit those shows on Disney+. The fun thing about streaming is they are there forever, and people can keep re-exploring them. Moon Knight, same thing. I think there's a future for that character as we move forward. They skip down, and he says, so when you say that the pace will change, do you mean spacing them out or putting out fewer shows a year? And I could actually go back here. He says, it's harder to hit the zeitgeist when there's so much product out there and so much content, as they say, which is a word that I hate. But we want Marvel Studios and the MCU projects to really stand out and stand above. So people will see that as we get further into phase 5 and 6, The pace at which we're putting out the Disney Plus shows will change so they can each get a chance to shine. So when you say the pace will change, do you mean spacing them out or putting out fewer shows a year? Both, I think, is his reply. When it comes to that, Mr. Abomination AJ, what are your thoughts?
Um, so I don't try to look for the worst possible version of a person's words, but when he said the zeitgeist, I'm be honest, I had to look up zeitgeist.
That's fair.
Uh, but he's trying to reflect the culture in the times with the story. Basically, all new, all different. Marvel. Okay, this is for a modern audience. We know what that means. I've said the Disney Plus content suffered from pushing of agenda, and probably all of them, or a certain narrative, as opposed to supplemental content, meaning let's give hero stories over here on Disney Plus that are smaller in scale, or maybe bringing to the people's attention lesser known characters. So Disney Plus should have been used for that. So it doesn't seem like they are moving away from that direction, as opposed to just great storytelling and adapting these stories, because shit, we've already went past decades of storytelling to
Oh
get to
yeah.
where they are now. And I think I said this on a Joker Voice video. It seems like they full steam ahead with the pushing through those stories to get to current day, to where now they're ran into a brick wall and now they're limping along. And he says this in this interview, or in this article as well, that they had to, I think during like phase 4 or 5, they had to adapt to like what was happening. And to me, that meant adapt to the stories, basically making it up as they
As you
went.
go along. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's going to continue to be the issue. Nothing from this article really stood out besides they're continuing doing what they're doing. And that's why I do give James Gunn credit. Okay. He might be adapting terrible entertainment or recent stuff to come out, but he at least understands that we gotta have a plan for it to be comic book accurate, not in the
Accurate.
sense of adapting these stories perfectly or the best possible way, but keeping it as a comic book feeling world on the big screen, whereas connecting all of these things, again, bringing characters that a lot of people probably don't know into these stories and whatnot. So basically, Marvel is still going to be shit. And they jumped to this multiverse thing, which people are all over. And it's sad because that's become like the new standard for things. And now you see people even giving that excuse for something like, let's say, Rings of Power. Well, this is not Tolkien's. This is like a different universe. Or, you're just starting to see that excuse bleed everywhere else. And that's why I say it's like NPC responses. People don't really think about what they're saying when they talk about these things. I actually don't even hear anybody talking about current entertainment really in detail like we did with entertainment throughout the years. Now it's just again consume product, get
Mm-hmm.
excited for the next product. So they're not invested. They're just watching shit, just pass the time to distract themselves from miserable lives or something. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on that. What up,
Okay.
Floral?
So essentially, just go ahead and try and say, "Hey, consume product, keep going, no matter what our product is or where we're getting it."
Yeah, but maybe the financial issues that they've had by constantly pumping out
I am
so much
glad
content.
you brought that out because I
Yeah.
actually went ahead because that bleeds right into what I was gonna say. That's why I wanted to know to how you thought about it because I checked their quarter 1 earnings report for like the first quarter of 2023. So essentially, they lost to about like 2.4 million subscribers, right? So
Hmm.
if you do the base of like $8 a month, you lost $19.2 million in 3 months, right? Which like that could be your budget for hiring staff, writers, new actor for an additional show, right? They're also trying to cut $5.5 billion in costs. So the easiest thing to cut is either redundant positions in different sectors of the same business, Or hey, shows we carved out a budget for, get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. The easiest way to explain it to possible shareholders is like, hey, revenue's up here. We dipped here. We got to kind of cut out some things. And when it comes to an interview like this, like, oh, we're just going to space them out so they can really get the shine that they deserve. Which means like, hey, we don't have the money to keep continually pumping out this content because we can't afford the losses of subscribers and probably ad revenue that's coming with it too. Which one is that? I think that also when you look at things like She-Hulk, there was a progressive decline in viewership over episode. So I think that not only are we probably having fatigue, we're just like, well, hey, if you keep telling me to your point that, oh, this is not the actual lore, this isn't the actual universe, and there's a multiverse. Well, if there's a multiverse where anything is possible, then nothing matters. So
Yeah.
why am I wasting my time watching this show? I think if you do you want to keep going further into the article?
I mean, yeah. Let me see what comes up.
Okay.
But I think my response to that, we were talking about the money, the losses on the show last week, when Canoli blessed us with his presence. Appreciate you,
Thank you, sir.
for coming
Thank you.
through.
Great job.
But we were talking about the animated projects that are coming out, and they are sequels to already successful projects. So they're banking on bringing out names that people already know that have an attached fan base to them, and that'll help us to recoup some fees. But they're doing less work because if they've already put these movies out, they already have the 3D models or whatever. They kind of already have people who are willing and who've drunk the Kool-Aid already. So they're willing to hop back on those projects for probably little to no money, since we know Marvel is don't give a shit about their CGI, visual effects, artists and whatnot. So we're seeing them again not change direction, not backing down or backpedaling on the agenda of things, but more so Marvel actually turned Eternity into Shenron. What's Eternity?
It's one of the cosmic entities in Marvel, kind of like a deity, like a kind of a god.
Okay.
It's hard to this one just grants wishes like Shenron.
Okay.
Sad.
Okay. But so they're capitalizing on what I've said before. They bring these projects or names that already have an attached fan base to them because they expect those people to come out, spend their money, and hear that message. Now, again, I didn't watch the Quantumania. I know they was talking about socialism and all that. I have no frame of reference. I really don't know what happened. I'm just hearing this. But if that is true, then that goes to these people are bold enough, like with She-Hulk, they're bold enough to just come straight out and tell you, with the Proud Family, my not so secret gay agenda from that head writer lady. It's like they're bold enough or have been emboldened to just flat out tell you what they mean, what their goals are, what they're trying to do with these franchises, because they know they really won't see a backlash. Not dramatic enough to make them change on a dime, but it's slowly happening. So then they're like, okay, what small little changes can we make to try and recoup these fees, as opposed to saying, okay, we was wrong. Fuck everything that we just did. Scrap all of that shit. Let's start over. Back to the animated stuff. We haven't seen anything, any new creative animated projects from Disney. It's sequels coming out, and let me not go in on that right now.
Hey, man, it's okay, man. We got the time. We in here.
You keep going though on the article.
All right, so I will say I wanted to go all the way to almost damn near the beginning of this. We got to work on this because they're trying to crack down people that are reading and stuff like that. So basically the question they're asking them is, let's start with Ant-Man. Why was Quantumania the right film to kick off Phase 5 and introduce Kang the Conqueror? I'm going to paraphrase this because, again, we don't want any claims or strikes for us reading the material. But essentially, Kevin Feige says that Kang is in equal stature to Thanos as a villain, which Maury Povich would say that's a lie. And then he says he's completely different from Thanos as a villain because he's multiple villains. What?
Mm-hmm.
But so This is the thing: is that didn't the Avengers in Endgame beat the Thanos that was already Thanos before he defeated them as Thanos?
Yep.
So they defeated Thanoses, right? So the last big bad that you had that was this cosmic, that was a cosmic threat. You killed him in present day than 5 years before. So
Mm-hmm.
essentially, the villain you just took out was a multiple of the same villain. And here you are repeating it and saying, you know, he's so unique. Why? Because there's two of them. I was like, do you know how radio mode you sound right now? I know it's better than one villain. What? Multiples. And how
Yeah.
many? Of the same one. Wait, are you serious? So, what point do you become your own henchman at that point? If there are
Yeah.
multiple versions of you, how terrible must you be if they all have to get together to take on the Avengers? And that's assuming we're talking about what would be Earth Primer 616 Avengers. So you told me a group of the same people got around to going across the multiverse trying to fight them, because they said that in phases 4, 5, and 6, which we are calling Phase Bore, Phase Y, and Phase Ditch, that we're gonna have the Avengers to take on the Kang Dynasty, and that goes right into Secret Wars. Also, I don't really care about any of those things when you're telling me that you said Kang has equal stature to Thanos and Galactus is in the back in a corner somewhere. Like, am I a joke to you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts based on that, sir?
Well, what you were saying with the whole Kang thing, with them being variants, it takes away from the villain. Endgame took. I think people loved Infinity War. I didn't, because of my boy Hulk and how they did him, and then Spider-Man, who was a fucking adult during these events that actually had input and was a valued hero. Was just a fucking kid that had movie references or whatnot. So my two favorite dudes were already fucked before that movie. So Infinity War was fine. Then of course they threw the Wakandan bodies out at the enemy. So get them N words out there on the battlefield. But Endgame was, it was weird. It was a darker tone, and then they doing this whole time travel thing. It didn't need to be done. It should have stopped there, and then kind of trying to do some other things. But like you're saying with the Kang, or how if you see this villain multiple times, it takes away from them. And that goes back to my issue with all of these superhero movies. We're not really seeing a rogues gallery. I would love to see a movie where these characters are kind of already established and you see them take out, which Amazing Spider-Man tried to do that with having Rhino, Electro, and Goblin in one movie. They failed at it. But give us a guy who's just like, okay, let me get this C-list, this B-list villain out of here real quick and focus the actual movie on this A-list, this top tier villain. So we're not really seeing a rogues gallery. And instead of taking that approach, which again, Disney Plus could have helped with that, like you said, we're seeing multiple variants of Kang. We had to see them fight Thanos twice because we failed one time, as opposed to I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but just that point. They're trying to build like this rogues gallery, or keep you get somebody like Jonathan Majors, which me and you kind of disagree or have two different views on.
About that. We're gonna talk about that.
I think he's a great actor. But once you, like in that article, he's talking about, oh yeah, Jonathan Majors was so great. I knew I wanted him to play that. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but apparently in Quantumania, which y'all spoilers, I don't give a shit about any of this, and most of the chat don't either.
Bro, let them have it. It came out 2 days. Give them, let at least Coney Sasquatch be disappointed too. Okay.
Let them have it.
We can't use our hate right now. Let's fuel them to the dark side on that one. Let them watch it first, and then we come back with it.
Okay, apathy is what make these people squeam. People, we need more of that. But I'm just gonna say you're taking away from your big bad villain. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on that.
I was gonna say, on top of that, do you know what the other issue is with that? Is the fact that Kang is actually a Fantastic Four villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't know if he's and the thing is, he's like a descendant at some point. They can't determine if he's a descendant of Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom. But he goes after them anyways. It's like that actually gives you a better tie with actually bringing in the fucking Fantastic Four. It was right there.
Dude, if we tying shit in, I said Wakanda Forever shouldn't have happened. There should have been a series on Disney Plus where we're exploring this stuff. But this whole Quantum Mania thing, which again, if Shuri is already established, that Cassie, whatever her last name, I'm thinking of Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles, but Cassie, Ant-Man's character, Lane, Cassie Lane. Instead of her creating this fucking or figuring out, you throwing another fucking super smart female character at a super genius. Instead of her figuring out this quantum realm or whatever, that should have simply been Shuri figuring out how to access multiple universes and whatnot. And then, like I said, send Black Panther through there in the CGI suit. We don't have to address Chadwick Boseman, but then give her a story there, but shows the Quantum Mania shit. It sucked him in. So, oh, he's gone. We'll see him again in phase, whatever the next fucking phase is. Yeah. But focus on Shuri being a Black Panther because that suit was not activated by her herb. She was smart enough to make them just the fucking suit that people could activate. I'm going back into my video, but she should have made suits for her. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, he should have gotten the shield, but since he didn't, hell, he should have been the fucking White Wolf. So she should have had a suit for him and a suit for M'Baku. And then we can keep the story on a grounded level right there, but then introduce this big multiverse shit that they jumped so far ahead to do. I think that's what really killed them by trying to go big and bad so soon. After Thanos, actually, you could have put out only a couple of movies or whatever, and just dedicated Disney Plus. Because when I did have Disney Plus, I was watching all of the animated shit, like all the cartoons that came out, all the older movies that came out, fucking dinosaurs, the Jim Henson dinosaurs. Like I watched this shit like back to back, like twice. So I'm like, you had enough of a library. Again, with this Marvel shit, you have enough of a library where people will revisit those and continue to watch those, and it'll give you time to create your story and to figure out where we're going. How are we going to adapt these stories that already came before?
I get it. Yeah, I understand. It's like, well, hey, you are a big movie production company, but it's like not everything that's on the CW is going to make it to like Warner Brothers as a movie. You know, yeah. Like, and that was the thing. They were thinking about how they wanted to embrace TV and they wanted to do shows that could only be shows, and that they liked the idea of close-ended shows. Like nothing you made when Disney Plus came out was close-ended. You made everything related, so it actually bogs down anything you're trying to do further because everyone's going to be looking for, okay, how does this tie into the movie, or how does this tie into the next series, or how does this tie into a show that, or one of the phase 2 movies? And so it's go ahead.
So he says that in this article, and I don't want to interrupt you. Yeah, no, please.
Go ahead.
But my point to that was WandaVision. When it came out, I was hoping that it wasn't connected to the shit that just that what we saw in the MCU. Right. When it was simply her, and then you seeing them use their powers to do a decade sitcom, that shit was funny. Maybe because I love sitcoms, but I'm like, okay, this is not attached. Which in the article he was saying you can't please basically the normies and the diehard fans all together. He would love to, but you can't. So that's the perfect approach. Make something that's not connected, but we're using these characters and throwing them into something that people can enjoy separately. And then you would have had fucking moms or whatever, like watching that stuff. I'm not talking about Karens and the wine drinking women that hate men. I'm talking about just people who are like not attached to this stuff, don't care about an agenda, none of that. I just want to see some good entertainment. Because WandaVision, back when the first few episodes before they start showing the little MCU little tie-ins, I was like, bro, this is hilarious. Vision trying to, using his powers to seem like a regular dude. Wanda with the old I Love Lucy. Like I was eating that shit up, bro. And again, they could have done more of that. With the SpiderMan series that's coming out. It's going to be animated, and he's going to be a fucking teen. Like we just didn't see this man fight cataclysmic, cosmic events and whatnot. How you expect me to go from that to animated Peter Parker in high school as opposed to switching it around and bringing that shit out first. Animated Peter Parker, sure, let all the kids see him. It's Tom Holland Spider-Man. We see. I hate Uncle Ben not being there and them giving him the hot Aunt May, but maybe you see him actually working with Tony Stark and him learning these things, and he built his own spider suit as opposed to Tony just pulling his suit out of his ass and here you go. It's like they had plenty of opportunities to build these characters up and get people prepared for the MCU, and opportunity gone because they want to, like I said, full steam ahead to this new shit.
No, I mean, not even that. Basically, from what you've told me, it's like I've yet to hear or see Peter's intelligence in any of the 3 movies you showed me. Basically,
I'll push back on that one, but keep going.
Go ahead. Oh no, go ahead.
I didn't
watch them. Go ahead.
The only pushback I'll give you is because I watched Homecoming. That was the only one I watched. In Civil War, I think he was handled fine because he was a kid, but I expected some growth after that. But you put him and his fucking friend Ned, and they just figured out how to unlock the suit, all the powers of the suit. So it's like they gave you that moment of intelligence, but those was 2 random kids from this school of gifted youngsters, honestly, because they could have easily slid some mutants up in there. But this school with all these smart people, these random 2, just figured out how to unlock Iron Man tech. So it's like no wonder these supervillains taking your shit, Iron Man.
But that's why I'm asking. Like, was there a continual? Is there a continual showing of his intelligence outside of that one scene?
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that's what I mean by they will put these elements in there for NPC responses. Well, he was smart. They unlocked the suit, but it's like make sense.
Right.
Where else do you see this intelligence? Because again, when he's actually fighting these big bads with the rest of the team, he's only giving out movie references, as opposed to Spider-Man, whose powers are limited. So he has to rely on his intellect a lot to throw his villains off and figure out ways to defeat them. We didn't see that. We saw a dumb kid that saw a movie one time.
And that's what I'm saying is the fact that he didn't go to no gifted school. Just say the motherfucker went to a charter school. You was a voucher program kid from Brooklyn, and you with the other kids. That's all.
Miles Morales' story that they gave to Tom Holland.
That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. Because at least by Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, he was in class 1.21 gigawatts when he quit being Spider-Man. They showed you dude is actually smart. Yeah. And he can actually he's at least doing the thing of juggling several things at one time, being a superhero, being a boyfriend, being a good nephew to Aunt May.
Yeah.
They show him going through these things. What responsibilities did Peter in this version have? And if you're telling me that, well, okay, he and Ned unlocked the Iron Suit, but then again, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio knew how to do it too. And now in Homecoming, No Way Home, Dr. Octopus steals your suit and actually integrates that into the appendages. Well, I mean, how smart are you? You keep getting outsmarted every time someone else comes around. Like you've had all this machinery and all this technology longer than the other guys have, but they unlock it a lot faster than you do. So where's the smarts? So that's where I mainly have problems.
No, I got you 100%. And that goes back to the She-Hulk thing and Kevin Feige says it in this fucking article that he loved what happened in She-Hulk. He approved. His stamp of approval was on that. And that show told you everything that just happened in this show don't matter because I'm just going to fucking erase it at the end. Pull a Karen move. That show told you that these people, there's a robot pumping out content with this built-in formula. And that goes to this the Batman, the Flash trailer. It's like as long as they put in this shit, you just see the flashes. You see some powers happening. And then you see some jangling keys. I'm in there. I want to see this. And I'm looking at and they called the new Batman the No Way Home for Batman or whatever for DC.
It is. Yeah.
But I'm looking at No Way Home, still haven't watched that movie. I'm looking at it like, okay, Kang, for instance, is a new one. Okay, well, you got all these Kangs from different universes. They're the same fucking person. But all the Peters from different universes look different.
And that's all. And that's when we talk about the Flash movie. That's also the problem I have with the Flash as itself. I'm sorry, but go ahead, man. Go ahead.
That was it. I think that's all I had, man. It's just it's a formula that they know is going to get people interested. Like so many people are praising the Flash movie trailer, which you know what? If it looks, I'm not saying shit can't be entertaining. Okay, but when your goal is to connect this with all these other things, okay, well now we got to get real comic booky. Now we got to get real nerdy here and see continuity issues and how, well, if this character was here, why aren't they over here at this point in time? Why aren't they helping? Well, you did this in this
Right.
other project. Why is this
Why is
not
that happening
happening?
here? Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I know I was like any other problem is, and Dempsey points it out. The issue is that Peter Parker, for how young he's supposed to be, the fact that at that
Yes.
young age he can hang with the Reed Richards, like he was part of the Fantastic Four at one point. He can almost hang with Victor Von Doom as far as the intelligence goes. For him to be so young on his own to be that intelligent, they're like, yo, this kid can almost hang with us. Which means
Yes.
at the rate he's going, he'll be smarter than us and I'll have way more experience at a younger age. Spider-Man technically is one of the characters that you really can't say could ever be OP because they give you so much potential. You know what I mean? Like there are characters straight up you're like, man, that guy's OP. Like he can
Yeah.
do no wrong. We have to bring him down a peg. Well, Spider-Man, it's like, well, hey, you never brought him up to the level where he could have been. I mean, even when they show you when he switches minds with Dr. Octopus actually maximizes him to the best of his ability. I mean,
I
they're trying
fucking
to
love
show you,
Superior.
right? They're trying to show you, like, yo, you should stop writing him as this kid. Like, as an adult, this man can do anything. He's limitless potential, which for me, it's like, well, hey, the only problem I have with him working for the Daily Bugle for 60 years is there wasn't any growth in what he did. Superman is kind of relegated because he can do anything, but kind of the only thing he had to work at was telling a story because that's dependent on other people. So the thing is, hey, I love the Daily Planet because I have to write this and make it make sense. I can do anything, but to make me get hearts and minds, it has to be a good story. That's fine. Spider-Man's the opposite. Dude can do anything. So why is he still taking pictures?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't he get that research assistant job? Why isn't he forming his own company? Why isn't he, working with the night nurse to triage, injuries to mutants? I mean, there are so many limitless possibilities that I can't believe that he just takes pictures at the age of 30, 35. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that in Spider-Woman, his dad becomes a detective. Her dad becomes a detective, which is great. I love that. He actually still uses his powers. He's not Spider-Man anymore, but he's actually an officer. So there's growth there. But I mean, I just want to see him continue to grow and kind of, gracefully age into the maximum of his powers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
And
rambled.
no, do that. But on the Spider-Man thing, which I've said this before, y'all know I bitch when you come through here. But the Spider-Man thing was, yes, he's doing the events that are happening in the MCU. He's an adult. He's an intelligent adult.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
although I say Civil War was my favorite movie out of those first two phases, that's only basing it off the MCU and the story that they built to get to that point. But compared to the comic, that shit sucks. But
Yeah.
in the comic, Spider-Man was an adult. He had partnered with Tony and their side, but after he saw Goliath die, the Goliath was killed as a result of both sides fighting.
Yeah.
He was like, no, Tony, this ain't what I signed up for. This is basically not the dream that you sold me. And when he tries to switch sides, Iron Man attacks him. He was like, all right, bro, I can't let you get up out of here. You're a criminal now. And then I think he escapes. He's getting fucked up by all this like tech that Tony got in his building. But and then Punisher ends up like saving him, and he goes over to Cap's side. So I'm like, that would have been a fucking amazing story to see, and to actually see Tom Holland Spider-Man actually mature and grow. Yes, get messed up, but actually make some decisions, as opposed to what I see people saying with No Way Home, where it's like, well, all of your complaints for this Spider-Man we fixed. wow, you fixed it after what, the third fucking movie, the fourth appearance of this dude. I had to wait all this time to see the Spider-Man that I wanted. When if you would have
Yep.
gave us that in the beginning, he could have been way more interesting of a character or had way more of a hand in the events that happened. But
Agreed.
yeah, that's the Spider-Man thing. I guess basically off of that segment, this shit ain't gonna get no better. They doubling down on what they're doing. You're just gonna get less content.
Agreed. Agreed. All right.
and more Kangs, variant Kangs.
We was all Kangs at this point now.
We was all Kangs. We was Kang, bro. I'm pretty sure that shit's on purpose. I'm just saying.
I do. I know. I know.
Like I said, with the Civil War thing,
The Conqueror, baby.
that Civil War thing, like Goliath dying. All right, that was a black man. So what happened in Civil War? We're going to incapacitate Don Cheadle's, the black dude, War Machine.
and this is what we were talking about. I said anytime there's a black character introduced, if y'all look at, there were a few deaths in all the phases of Marvel, but I will guarantee you that every movie that had a black cast, somebody died. The villain or the actual protagonist. So
we had two Black Panthers die.
They were like, we're gonna kill these ninjas going back to back.
We mowed them down in Infinity War.
Exactly.
Brought them back for Endgame to die again. T'Challa out of here.
Exactly. And Copa, because you know exactly what I'm talking about with what goes on with Kang. So I mean, again, I'll wait for your video to come out. I'll wait for y'all to see it. But you know, I'm gonna have my guy Stuntman come on next week to tell me about it, because again, he performs the stunts of a stuntman. He does what I do not want to do and will watch what I will not go near. So anyway, you know, we'll have to just jump to that and just go to the next topic, because we're gonna beat a dead horse on this one.
Yeah, man. What was I gonna say? I don't know. We don't have to stay there too long, but again, I do pay attention to a lot of that shit that's happening with these black characters. And I've told y'all, Falcon, you know, for all these people to claim people like ourselves or Young Ripper are racist because we don't like these colored characters. It's like, well, when we're the ones who are fighting for a fucking Falcon movie or his own series, as opposed to him taking a sloppy seconds of white man Captain America. It's like, who are the real racists here? And what are you fighting for? Because again, to me, that's the equivalent of Falcon not being good enough, having his own name, Kunta Kinte. So we're going to whip his ass and call him Toby. And from what Kevin Feige said about, Nate Moore, I think it was Nate Moore, one of them, we're going to make him earn the shield. So he's about to get them lashes.
Well, I was going to say, you know that in Captain America New World Order, it's going to be Anthony Mackie's Captain America versus Harrison Ford's President Ross. So I already know the Eternals are going to be that. And they said they have a history together. I already know what that's going to look like.
So he's fighting the government, but they're making the face of Red Hulk? Because he's fighting a general.
Ross is president in this one. So he's President Ross, while Anthony Mackie is Captain America. And they're like, oh, they have history together. Because, of course, you can't tell black people that they're in the movie without knowing somebody, which is also a gripe I have with TV shows in general. When they bring a black person on and they bring someone else in, that person knows a black person. I'm like, how are you telling me Anthony Mackie, as like a paratrooper, supposed to know General Ross? Like, he would fly underneath the radar for the most part until he got elevated to Captain America. But how are you supposed to say that they know each other and they have a past? And that's the problem I have. You told me you wanted things to be self-contained, but the minute he becomes Captain America, oh, General Ross knows who you are. How? And how are you supposed to go ahead?
And he got issues with them. So black people should have issues with American politics.
I know. You may have had one of yours for president, but you'll never be the first. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I got the shield and I can fly.
So they going that sucks because Red Hulk. I enjoy Red Hulk as a character. I like Ross finally accomplishing what he wanted, but then finding out once he got it, oh shit, this can turn you into a real monster. I become the villain who I thought was the villain. I've become that.
I'm
And
the
in the
bad.
comic, he was Ross. So you didn't know he was Red Hulk for like the first half of that whole arc. So I don't know. It's just gonna be funny. Again, I'm not gonna watch the shit, but it's gonna be funny to see how they handle that. But yeah, with him, well, I guess it's the comic. It's not spoiling the movie, but he basically set up an AI homunculus. All right, he had an AI little android thing running around as General Ross while he was out doing his Red Hulk shit and fucking folks up and killing some. So yeah, it's gonna be.
That's an intelligent story, actually.
It is, and he's like helping these guys. Like, hey, we don't know who this is. What's happening? And it's him the whole time. So it's gonna be funny to see how much they deviate from that story in order to push their narrative agenda, whatever. Yes, it all goes back to that. Dempsey. That's what it is. Ridiculous. That's what it is. Now y'all, because at first it was the visuals, and now y'all got the voice happening. Okay, so we putting voices on it. Look, man, like I said, next is just 3D printing is a thing. Okay, so y'all just gonna get in them chambers and y'all with the little juice, the little Mewtwo's, and you just gonna see yourselves being copied into the vat. But yeah, man, that's all for that Marvel shit that I got.
I got you, man. All right, so we're gonna jump into the next topic, sir. What do you want to cover based on where we are now?
Do we grab these comments? Joker Voice got a big one right here. Did you pull that up? One of New World Order is going to address the dissolving of the Sokovia Accords that was mentioned as a throwaway line in She-Hulk. Yeah, no. They just.
No, I don't think they're going to. No, I think by that New World Order, I think they're just going to make it. I think they're going to keep it domestic.
Mm-hmm.
They went all over the world in the Cap or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I think they're going to make this one more domestic terrorism issues. I don't know how they're going. I don't know what story they're going to use, because when I heard Falcon became Captain America, like he fell in love with Jane Foster, like that was a whole thing at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's the only arc that I knew of, and the fact that Steve Rogers' son teamed up with Captain Falcon to like fight some other evil. So I don't know, but again, that's 2016 maybe.
And they don't. And they don't want to vilify those around the world because we're giving money to Ukraine. So
exactly. So look for this one to probably be a domestic movie. We could be wrong. If you guys know what it's about, so let us know.
Yeah. Not much has come out about it though. If Ross is president, that affects international affairs.
It might. I just don't know where you send him or what the biggest threat could be. I really don't know.
Unless he wasn't.
Go ahead.
He wasn't president in that story, so
he wasn't. I just don't know, because it's like, unless you tell me he runs in a Kang, I mean that was what I forgot to mention. I don't know how many of y'all have seen Friends. I had never seen Friends until maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, because I never got the humor. But all I know is that Chandler had this one annoying ass girlfriend named, oh God, what was her name? She had this big Jersey voice. I don't want to call her friend, because that wasn't her name. All I know is that whenever Chandler was in a rut, this girl would come around and they would be together, but she'd be so annoying. She'd come around the corner and she'd be like, oh my God. And that was the call sign. Yeah, whenever you heard her, you're like, ah, shit, here she come again. Yes, that's going to be Kang. Kang is just going to be, oh my God, Avengers. And it's going to be, oh my God, this motherfucker Kang is here again. Like, bro, what Earth are you from? Earth. No. It's good. Janet. Yes. There we go. Janet. Yeah, that was her name. Janet would always come around at the worst of times for Chandler. And because he was in such a rut, he dealt with it. Like, he finally gets rid of her towards the end, but it's just, you would hear her say, oh my God, you're like, ah, shit, here she comes again. I think it's going to be Kang, because he's going to be coming around I'm thinking he might be in some part in every Marvel movie in the next 2 phases. And just seems like very, very redundant and boring. Who was it? It was Kang. Yeah, we know, guy. We saw you on the street. Like, how many other black supervillains are there? Do we have? I
Yeah.
mean, Anyway, though, go ahead.
Like, how many other actual villains do we have? Like, we haven't. Again, my issue with the live action superhero movies is they dedicate all this time to one big bad, and it's one and done. But I'm like, when, like for Thor, for instance, when you see him, and he's like, he comes down with the hammer and he hits the ground and electrifies all the little alien creatures or whatever. And I'm like,
That's not how
bro, if
light
you're
works. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying,
Okay, I thought that's where you're going. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I
Turn
mean,
the brain off.
it can easily like go to the body and go through the bodies or whatever. But basically, this should be these characters all the time, which I think Captain America did a great job of that, because I didn't like Captain America before seeing his movies, but I was like, you know what? They're really using the enhanced human thing. It's cool. And he didn't have all these powers to rely on with all these lights and flashes.
True.
To win people over. He was just straight kicking ass and throwing that shield. So, that was cool. But yeah, I don't think they utilize these characters like they should. That's what it goes back to. And because they prioritize agenda or message as opposed to great storytelling. And we know this because the stories have already been told.
That are way better.
Adapt them.
All right. So now we have crushed that mercilessly to death, sir. What we got? I got him too.
We crushed it. Oh, okay. What up, Grumpy?
We're caught. Yeah, we're caught up too.
Okay. And Mephisto was talking about Friends because he knows all the fucking lore of all the movies and shows to come out. But all right, y'all. This next article. So we talking about Idris Elba. Somebody else who, now that's funny because he played Heimdall in the MCU.
Exactly.
Because he's not a black actor, he's just an actor, so he could play a white guy because he's not a black actor. Which, hey, I'll be real with you. You know how I feel about this ego. I'm not mad at him for these words, but people, this is what Idris Elba is talking about. Idris Elba says he no longer calls himself a black actor because it puts him in the box. Now, John Boyega did have a response to this, and it was not the response I thought. And after reading it, I actually agree with what John Boyega says, but at the same time, you're still a boy for them who you claim to fight against. And by boy, I mean they're still able to like throw you in shit like the Woman King, or handle you the way that they did in Star Wars and make you play whatever roles they want you to play. Anyway, Idris Elba has said, y'all can see that, right? I got to pull it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Has said he no longer calls himself a black actor because the label puts him in a box. The Luther star said that as humans, we are obsessed with race and that the obsession can really hinder people's aspirations and growth. Elba, 50, made the comments during an interview with Esquire UK. He said, if we spend half the time not talking about the differences but the similarities between us, the entire planet will have a shift in the way we deal with each other. The actor went on to say that while racism is very real, his perspective is that it's only as powerful as you allow it to be. Elba said, I stopped describing myself as a black actor when I realized it put me in a box. We've got to grow. We've got to. Our skin is no more than that. It's just skin. Rant over. The actor, also known for his role as Stringer Bell in HBO's The Wire, said that he entered the industry because I thought that's a great profession and I could do a good job at it. As you get up the ladder, you get asked what it's like to be the first black to do this or that. He said, well, it's the same as it would be if I were white. It's the first time for me. I don't want to be the first black. I'm the first Idris. Should I keep going?
Go ahead, sir. No, go say your piece. I will say mine.
Okay, cool. Oh, I'm saying keep reading. And I guess I will because it goes into the John Boyega stuff.
Okay, keep reading until you get to the John Boyega stuff, and then we'll stop there and I'll give you my comments.
He said, then let me have it. Let me rip. All right. Elba said that he is aware that in many cases, I might be the first to look like me to do a certain thing, and that's good to leave as part of my legacy. He continued, so that other people, black kids, but also white kids growing up in circumstances I grew up in, are able to see there was a kid who came from Kennington who ended up doing what I do. It can be done. Bro, I agree with all of this shit so far.
Okay.
Fellow actor John Boyega has responded to the remarks on Twitter, appearing to call Elba's decision to not refer to himself as a black actor a weird adjustment. You know what? What are your thoughts? Because it's basically like John Boyega is having this conversation with us. So before we get another person's perspective, what's our perspectives on what we just read? What you got?
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you, as I will ask the chat. I can I will tell you. I'm gonna do both, but I just want to know which one y'all want first. I can tell you what my thoughts are as Left Eye Ego, or I can
Peach
tell
double
you what
voice.
Idris Elba is trying to tell you guys in the voice of Idris Elba. I will leave it up to y'all. I'll give y'all about maybe 20 seconds to let me know which one y'all would rather hear first, because I will do both. I, I will let it kind of marinate for a second. Abomination, sir, what say you on that? You want to hear Idris tell you what Idris is talking about? You want me to, or you want Left Eye to tell you he's talking about first?
Go for what you want, y'all. He want to do the voice so bad. This man trying to be a voice actor. I ain't mad at it.
Idris,
Keep doing
that's
it.
fine. All right, so I'm gonna
Go
tell
for what
y'all
you
what Idris is.
comfortable with, man.
I'm
What
gonna
you
tell
got?
y'all what Idris is really trying to be like. All right, y'all give me a second. Let me go ahead and get off camera so I can get in the moment.
You better come with the muscles too. Come with the muscles.
I mean, I'll have an air tube to blow up my sweater and make me like I got muscles.
The anchor arms
Okay.
from SpongeBob.
Damn, I forgot my Popeye arms at home. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right. Thank you for joining in. This is Idris Elba. You know, I had a conversation with myself, and I said, Idris, why are you down? I said, I am down, Idris. Why? I'll tell you why, Idris. You know, I can't get my respect around here. What do you mean by that, Idris? I'll tell you why. I've been a director, a copper, a hedgehog, a god, an animal, and I still can't be anything else other than those things. Did you get the part to be the 007? Weren't they going to change the whole law for you? That's beside the point, Idris. Oh, I'm sorry. Do go on, Idris. Okay, so here's what we do. Why we're having problems right now. I think it's because we're 50. We may be a little bit past our prime. Isn't that bastard from Bridgerton taking all your roles? I goddamn say that you're right, son. So what do we do? I'll tell you what we're going to do, Idris. Because we've been a copper, a director, an actor, a hedgehog, and a god. This time we're going to be Idris. We're going to be Idris. We're going to be Idris.
Oh,
you mean like Cher? Yeah, but it's Idris Elba. Okay, we're going to go full stream about that. When do you want to do it? We're going to do it during Black History Month on a UK magazine for Esquire. Damn, that's a good idea. That way we can go get the conservatives to think that we are just more than being black. Kind of like Candace Owens. Yeah, she believe anything what we say as long as it belongs with not being black. Oh, god damn, that's a good idea. And then we'll get other people that are liberals concerning that think that we're just going beyond the skin color. Oh my god. Now we can get our roles back from that bastard from Bridgerton. Oh my god. Jolly good show. Let's go about it. And that's how Idris Elba talked to Idris Elba. That's what he's really telling y'all right now.
Bro, what character are you playing for our comic book? You know some of
whatever
them,
you
like,
want to.
I'll
play any of them.
I gotta find out who you are,
I'll
bro.
play anything. I play any of them because I will say this. Now that I'm in the voice of Ego, he's 50 years old. Over his career, he is best known as playing one of the worst versions of black people. He was in The Wire, a drug dealer, a dealer of death. Then he winds up trying to play in Girlfriends. I'm not sure he was William, but it's like there weren't any positive masculine men on that show.
He was. So push back on that.
Okay. And how long did he last? And how long did he last on that show?
I feel you.
Exactly.
Probably half of an episode, maybe.
Thank you. So that's a cameo. That's not it. That's not even in the show. That's a cameo, sir.
I will also say Concrete Cowboy, but he played an ain't shit father. I'll give you that. He played a father who wasn't there until the mom was like, I can't handle this teenage boy no more. Go to your dad. So I feel you. I feel you.
And now that we're at the point where he turned down the role of 007, I think potentially because he's too old to do all that. Number one. Number two, they said they were going to rewrite the entire lore around Idris Elba. They were going to say 007 is a designation, which means the top MI5 or MI6 agent is codenamed 007. We want you to be 007. He said no. They still took the idea and gave it to that one chick when they did the last 007 movie. So they still took the designation and gave it to someone else because the concept makes sense. On
Mm-hmm.
top of that, everyone has been talking about that dude from Bridgerton being in the running to play the next 007 because everyone thinks that Henry Cavill is just too goddamn big to be Superman or to be 007. Regé Jean Page, that guy. He was also in God, the movie that had Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, a spy movie. He played like an American upper level not agent, but he played like an overseer for their agency. So on top of this, we've got younger British men that are African that live in England taking on roles as American black men, right? They're younger, they seem to have a more up and coming audience, and their audience is a lot wider than his is. So Idris is pegged to me out of things to be and to do, even though he's been the worst version of black men for 15 to 20 years. So now it's his chance to push off and say, no, 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 I'm not a black actor, even though I play black actors. I want to be an actor. And the problem I have with that is number one, he said it during Esquire UK during Black History Month. Number two, he just did a photo shoot for a black magazine last month on top of that. And three, I think I say this. I don't want to say I speak for all or most Americans, but the minute you hear someone open their mouth and it doesn't have anything to do with sounding like a traditional American accent, they're foreign. You're a foreigner. So I'm saying that him coming in and playing these terrible black characters, they're like, oh, we're good with you because you're British. You're not black because that's an American thing. You're literally African English. Parents from Africa migrated to England. We're Afro English. Okay, so you don't have the technical hangups that black men might have. So you're willing to play those roles that some of us might push back on. You get to actually be the worst part of us while divorcing yourself from being that actual person.
I disagree with that as well. I don't
I
think
don't.
most of us will push back on those roles. Once we get into John Boyega's little conversation, we're going to see that. I don't.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I only say that because the Hollywood Shuffle came out in the 80s, and Robert Townsend was saying you can always work at the post office. We've been saying that to each other for 40 years. It won't necessarily stop us from taking on those roles, but we'd actually wind up asking the question why we took the roles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue. Idris doesn't have any problem taking those roles because at the end of the day, oh, yo, I'm actually, from across the pond. So these are the roles that I could actually get into and, pretend to be these characters. Last time I was a djinn and this time I'm an absent father. And then the time after that, I'll actually be, a drug dealer. But he's saying at the end of the day, I'm British. I don't have these problems.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, John, I will let you talk about John Boyega and then we'll get to the comments that we had last night about what I was saying about the three tiers of not the three tiers, but the three types of black actors that we look for. Go ahead.
So before we get to John Boyega, my pushback or my how I feel about this situation is, again, I agree with him 100%. This whole, I'm gonna go back to the representation argument because he says I'm doing this for, of course, I can inspire a lot of kids that look like me, but I'm also doing this to inspire ones who don't look like me as well, who aspire to be in this profession. Well, like I told you, me growing up, all of my love for superheroes and cartoons and all of that was seen as a white folk shit. And I was told by so many black people when I pull out my skateboard, that was white folk shit. Why are you trying to be like them? So I was always told that what I enjoyed, I shouldn't because I'm black. And understanding that I was a minority in America, I figured, okay, well, hearing how black people feel about the things that I like, no wonder I don't see as many people that look like me in a team of superheroes. But I didn't take the approach of this is not for me. I took the approach of, well, I love it. I'm just going to go into that profession and I will make characters that look like me. And in that process, I will inspire those other black kids who are dealing with the same stuck in the box shit around them of you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be a product of your environment. Basically, if you love it, you go for it, do it, and leave your imprint. With Kevin Grievous, I go back to him. Well, this dude is created. He went into Marvel. He created Blue Marvel. He created the Underworld, which I'm more drawn to supernatural stuff as opposed to like science fiction. But I liked Underworld for Underworld. But when I found out that a black dude made it, I was like, oh shit. Now, it just opened up that door for me. Like somebody like Ripper making Isom is showing that my dreams, my aspirations are possible, because despite what I hear from around me, which they'll say it comes from the white folks that'll tell black folks they can't do shit. But most of the time it's your own people telling you can't do shit. Or if you're trying to do something, then you're trying to be like them. So I understand what you're saying by he's not one of us, but he's coming in and playing our roles. But I more so agree with what he's saying, as in, I'm just a black dude doing the shit. I'm an actor. I just so happen to be a black actor. And that goes into John Boyega's comments saying, which we'll get into.
And I'm arguing that he's not black. Because black to me is black to
that's
me.
To you. That's to you. To everybody else, we're black.
Everyone else in America, we're black. Everyone else, when they come over here, you're foreign. You don't have the same hangups those people do, and we love people from Britain. So you're completely divorced of all the American black problems. God damn. Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one. No, that's what I'm saying, is the fact that it would be different if you told me that Michael B. Jordan said this. Or if you're telling me, well, shit, Michael B. Jordan's the biggest name that I know that's that young. If you told me Michael B. Jordan says it, then we have a point. But we're saying someone that comes across the pond, who's 50 years old, who's done everything else, now he doesn't want to be the black actor. Why is he saying this now? But he
never said before that he was, or like capitalized off of that. He played the roles that he was. He played the roles that he was able to.
He didn't have to take those roles.
He's problem. An actor. You're telling him not to take a job.
Didn't you just tell me don't mindlessly consume?
I did, but even with the actors for like the MCU, for instance, still do your research on who these characters are. Don't be like fucking Anthony Mackie, who just wants a job and goes after the Mandarin.
You just contradicted yourself. You said don't just take the job. But like, you don't want him to take a job, but don't just take the job. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying my example was Anthony Mackie going after the Mandarin, who was an Asian character, where Idris Elba is saying, I don't want to be 007 or James Bond or whatever. I don't know if he said because it's a white guy or whatever. I didn't actually read an article. I just saw the headline. So I can't speak on what I don't know. But I haven't heard him say, or his response to this would have to be, or to balance it, would be he went after black roles, or roles that black people can play, or whatever, or roles that look like him. And now he's backtracking or switching it up, saying, no, I don't want to be that, after capitalizing off of that. He was simply an actor taking roles. Now, what those roles are, I feel you. He could have been more selective with those. But then again, if he is from over there, he's probably not fully aware of issues of Black Americans.
And that's why I will push back, because I will say that when Trevor Noah, when he flew from South Africa to New York, you know how he caught up on being black? Watched goddamn music videos from the 2000s. So by the time he fucking landed, he knew all the relevances, but he watched the worst versions of us. This motherfucker ain't watch Glory. This motherfucker ain't watch A Soldier Story. This motherfucker ain't watch Malcolm X. The fuck out of here.
And look at who he is. Right in New York.
He's not black. That's what I'm saying.
And Idris Elba is foreign. Although he's definitely not us, he is what I would consider not his acting roles. He is a black man to aspire to be. Trevor Noah, definitely not.
They're the same to me. They're the same.
John A. Douglas is blacker than Trevor Noah.
See
That's
that?
what
Okay,
he said.
we'll cut off. We'll cut off on that one.
So
What I am saying is the fact that when they come over here, they tend to play to all of our worst stereotypes, and they get to play the worst versions of us. But they're never caught up on actually catching any of the flack for playing those roles.
I feel you, but still, you have this British dude with a whole other cast of black characters. Who was he in The Wire or whatever drug thing you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
How many of them were fucking American?
Oh, they get
American
smoked too.
black.
They get smoked too. Everyone.
Okay, so I'm not mad at him for playing a role that other people that that he looks like. But you just said in your Idris impersonation, he was an echidna, not a hedgehog, but he was fucking Knuckles. That was just because we want a deep voice. So I'm sure that didn't have
I'm saying he's been everything. The fact that you've been everything shows that the fact they're not considering you black because you're British, you're a foreign actor that gets to come in and play roles that you would traditionally say would be black. We don't put any of those restraints on you. That's what I'm saying. He's like, oh my God, like I didn't know that he spoke like that. Who knew that he was British until they heard him speak almost after The Wire or when he did interviews? Because for the most part, he's always had an American accent. But the minute he's having showing something pro, he's like, well, when I was, playing a Mandela, I was thinking about it in my chateau.
Him.
And then, exactly.
You want
You're
this
like,
man
oh shit,
to stay in character?
No.
to
what I'm saying is the fact that he isn't black. I'm saying he is Afro-European. It's completely different. It's completely different. None of the problems that he would have if he were just American would be there.
So with that, I will say being called black is a umbrella term because I haven't done the DNA thing. I don't know truly where I'm from. Like
Don't do that. Don't voluntarily give up your DNA. Don't do that, man.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I'm saying, my people could be from South America or some shit, or like Brazil. It's not exactly Africa that my ancestors came from. Probably everybody originated from Africa, sure, but my exact people, what I'm saying? We could have came from some other brown people and then mixed in with some blacks in America and then, got what we got today. Mike said something. I want to bring that back up. I want to read that.
Bring it up.
But although we disagree on this, John Boyega's point is important. I do understand what he's saying, but his actions don't line up with his words. But what you say, Mike? This conversation highlights the rational loopholes that involve race. What being black is in this country is so subjective. Black British, not black. African from Africa, not black. Caribbean.
I will give you anecdotes. I'll give you.
So what does black actually mean?
And this is what I will tell you. This has been personal experience. I know that we don't have to say, it may not be representative of the whole, and anecdotal can be just that, anecdotal. I will tell you, as a goddamn doctor, when I'm sitting there, when I write my profession on there, when either I'm a patient from someone else or I've literally got on scrubs and a white coat that says Dr. Ego on it, people ask where I'm from. And they don't just mean generally America. They're like, is your last name French? Or is it, are you from...
Your ass must came from overseas to get this.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. I don't have an accent at all. Maybe when I lived in Philly, I was like, you don't sound like you're from Philly. And when I'm in Texas, part of the Philly is still there. So it doesn't translate. But for the by and large, people ask where I'm from, they don't mean America. And that's what I'm saying is that when you're at a certain level, it's assumed you're not from here. Not because they don't see it, but because it's not necessarily that's going to be, oh, so you're black? Yeah. Where are you from? I was born in Virginia. Like it goes back to like 1796. We've been up in that state for a while. So how long you been in this profession? And it's like trying to figure out where I came from. And that's what I'm saying is the issue. If I'm just me and talking like this, it's like, oh, you must be from somewhere else because you have the drive that we don't typically see in the black community or in other communities. Maybe it makes me feel better if I hear that he's, Haitian or he's Caribbean or, from somewhere else that isn't America. Or hell, maybe he's adopted by white folks. Don't know. All I'm saying is that race to this point is like more of a specific American thing because when other people come over here, when they are racially homogenous, this is not an issue. But the minute they come to America, it's like, oh, it's because I'm brown. The fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Oh, it's because I'm Chinese. Motherfucker, do you know that you guys on average make more than both white and black families? Stop. Like, oh, I'm being discriminated. It's like it's not a bigger issue overseas than it is in America. And that's the problem that I have, is that it becomes a problem once you come to America. I will say it's difficult because once you are American plus whatever nation you're really from, like if you are like Taiwanese American, it's hard because you're trying to balance, Taiwanese culture with American culture. Same for if you're Afro-European, you come to America. Well, there's the African roots that I have. There's the British customs that I actually take in, and there's American culture that I'm trying to straddle with that. Everything about you is different once you come to America, and you're technically straddling American culture with whatever you have. Black is different. We only have this culture. That's it.
I get what you. I get what you're saying. We're gonna keep disagreeing on this.
Okay.
But let's go to Boyega's comments.
Go to your boy.
Okay, because they are important. And
I'll let your boy,
Hale, what you said. The point is, it's not what black is to us. Because again, I do think once we see the brown skin tone, it's hey, all right, you black. It's what does it mean for the people casting us in movies and shows?
That's what exactly. Hail the Lord. Thank you, sir. That's what I think I'm trying to say.
I understand that.
Okay.
But so that's why I'm saying, speaking as what Idris is saying, I get what he means by that. I don't think he capitalized off of his blackness. I simply think that he was a go-to black guy to play the roles that they wanted black people to play. Because like I said, he was only one, but you got a whole cast of other black characters playing shitty black Americans as well. So I'm not going to put it all on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't come over here and play the worst version of us. Only we can play the worst versions of us.
And I will say, and that's
why do y'all want us to be highlighted or showcase that version of us
so badly?
Agreed. So now it goes to John Boyega. Okay, what does Zach say? Guys in Canada, most of our black people don't consider themselves black. Two of my kids' buddies are Jamaican and Eritrean.
Eritrean.
I don't know where I got an N from. And we're right next door. I understand that, and that's probably where they're from. They probably actually got that culture, know of that. A lot of black Americans we don't know. So this is all the fuck we got. So we got to create our own culture. I said, me and my wife, our sigil is the wolf. So we had kids. We're gonna start putting like fucking wolf emblems up there, like House of Thrones. We're gonna start planting trees for like members and all that type of shit. We're gonna have to create our own culture because I don't want to attach myself to some people that don't even know me. Could it be that British actors are just better? We have a British Peter Parker right now.
No, I don't think that they're better. It's just that, hey, if that's who they're going to choose, that's fine. It's just the fact that I think we are in love with British actors and actresses. I think that's the thing.
I think you say we. I think you mean Americans.
Because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. American. I'm saying Americans like that. People went completely crazy over the Beatles when they dropped in, and the Jackson 5 was just sitting in their lap the entire time.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like, it's great when you have someone that can, oh my God, they move just like us, but they're not us. So it's kind of like what we're used to, but kind of different. Like anything, once it comes over to another nationality, race, ethnicity, it's different. Like if you see like white people doing a dance and then black people doing a dance, it's the same dance, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same, but it's different. And but that's you can appreciate the attempt. That's all, and that's what I'm saying is the fact that for them, it's like, oh my God, British people trying to be American is like the coolest thing ever because it caters to our ego. They came over here to get big, and I feel partly responsible of how famous you are. So you're welcome.
You even had the black female dwarf in Rings of Power when she was talking about it. It was all about her race and how I'm doing this for people that look like me and all this type of shit. And yeah, I was like, bro, that's kind of narcissistic for you to be saying,
right? And the thing is, if you look at it, I was like, to me, it's like if the people that are Afro-British are saying all these things about slavery, this, slavery, that, is like, well, you do know that technically slavery in America probably went 100 years longer than it should have because we won the Revolutionary War. Because after that, they pretty much went around the world with their superior navy, shutting down slavery. like killing slave traders, putting them in jail. Like, you realize that Britain had a large part to do with shutting down slavery for the most part in Europe, around the world, outside of America. So it's like, at least your country like went around the world shutting shit down. We had to have a war over it. It was more of a war of constriction. Like, yo, man, we're losing. What we gonna do? Release the Negroes, and that's how we. That's partly how we won. And now
Wakanda forever.
Exactly. Union forever.
All right. Let me get to the John Boyega's.
Go ahead.
So he says, fellow actor John Boyega responded to remarks on Twitter appearing to call Elba's decision to not refer to himself as a black actor a weird adjustment. So John Boyega says, I think we should fixate on who is typecasting and putting actors in boxes because of this, not on making weird adjustments for them. We continuously focus on what we have to do so they don't do this or that. Very worrying. We black, and that's that. This him. Okay, he criticized the franchise and said the white characters were given more nuance and attention than his or Asian American actor Kelly Marie Tran. Okay, now we're going to the Star Wars shit.
That's fine.
And later in the interview, Boyega revealed he was contacted by a Disney executive after his comments were published, which led to a very honest and very transparent conversation. I would like to know what that conversation was because, like I said, John Boyega's words don't line up with his actions because he's saying we should more so focus our attention on the people who are casting us or who are allowing us to play in these roles. Yet he was in some shit like The Woman King. So it's like you let two woke white women put you in that position to be this soft ass black dude. So I'm like, do you really even mean what you say? And then from that article, I don't know the specifics of that conversation, but it's like, okay, they had an open, transparent conversation of what? I'm pretty sure these people ain't say, yeah, there's a strong woman agenda. So, although we marketed you as a black Jedi and you was going to be the shit, you was actually
had to get that China money.
Oh yeah, shrunk your face down on a poster and whatnot. We had to give your lightsaber over to the white girl because women and MCU. Okay, yeah, I know it's Lucas, Star Wars and not Marvel, but it's still owned by Disney, so MCU or whatever. But yeah, his actions don't really line up with that. And after they had that conversation, then what? Like, was it really transparency or was it, hey, bro, if you'll stop talking or if we offer you another role, we'll pay you this?
They have not forgiven him. They have not forgiven him since he left his script in a hotel and they found it. And that's how the actual plot for Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker got leaked. It's because he left his script. Someone found it and then that got leaked. So it's like, bro, you burned up any goodwill with these people you would have burned. It's like, yo, man, you lose scripts. You almost just as bad as Tom Holland telling the plot of the movies. Stop. Go be a woman king. Take your money. Go sit down in the corner. And that's it. And I will say, we talked about this, right? Now I'm going to tell everyone. Me and Justin and I talked about this years ago, right? There was, when it came to black men in cinema, we're talking maybe early to mid 80s and even up to about late 90s, 2000s. You had 3 black men that could get this done, right? If I wanted a hard-hitting drama and I wanted you to know and feel the character and either maybe get some resolution or maybe not, but it was going to be hard-hitting a drama, you get Denzel Washington because he can get it done. If you want to do based on a true story where a man has to overcome obstacles, mainly usually due to his race, and still, again, it can be heartfelt, but he overcomes and he achieves, Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, if you want someone to just get in there and kick some ass, knows what they're doing because they actually know the martial art that they're performing and have a commanding presence, Wesley Snipes, right? These 3 men held down black men cinema for 20 years. Only thing is now, you want to actually go and get what you can in the new guys now. So who is what you'd call your new Denzel Washington? Well, it was Chadwick Boseman. Hard-hitting, emotional dramas, right? You can feel the character because he actually can make you feel the feelings that he wants the character to have. If you want an ass kicker, Michael B. Jordan. Commanding presence. He is here about business. He knows what he's doing. Problem we get to is the Cuba Gooding. We don't really have one, and they really think that John Boyega is going to be that guy, and it's falling apart.
So this is John Boyega,
John
especially with
Boyega
that.
is going to get replaced by Jonathan Majors.
All right, well,
Yeah,
this is John Boyega. After that,
take
this
it.
is John Boyega after that conversation with this Marvel, whoever, whatever, Disney person.
Too bad for you, cause I just took another job, and even though they don't pay hardly nothing, working for white folks look way better on my resume.
That's why I got that clip and shit like that. So
that was nice. Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
As much as good shit as John Boyega talk, he don't mean none of that shit.
Man.
Now I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't pay so much attention to actors, or like I'm not attached to people like that. I mean, sure, Michael B. Jordan he's fine. Who else you said? Jonathan Majors. Now I like Jonathan Majors. I don't watch a lot of movies, but I understand when people say him in Quantumania, he was like the best thing. But, Angela Bassett was supposedly the best thing about Wakanda Forever, which I believe because she's an actual fucking actor, or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like, man, that shit don't save your movie. So is Jonathan Majors save your movie level of acting? Nah, but I do think he has command and presence. I think he has charisma. You disagreed, right? Okay.
Jonathan? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going. I don't mean to.
No. I'm just making sure. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that's what I remember you saying. I like him as an actor. His look. I think, and again, you shouldn't be playing Kang because Kang, Egyptian. It's just too much shit around that. Instead of playing something like a War Machine or Blue Marvel, some prominent black character where you could have actually been utilized and around longer, as opposed to just being a villain that needs to be taken out. Now I say that, but then again, Chadwick Boseman, they ain't had no problem getting his ass out of here. So ain't no telling what would happen to Jonathan Majors if he was a hero. I think Terrence Howard treatment, if you don't say the right stuff. No, yeah. If you don't say the right stuff, then we'll get you out of here and get some other typecast, some other black dude that's gonna do what we say in those roles. But I guess on that, again, I agree with Idris. I understand where he's coming from. And John Boyega, I will say this. I go back to that black woman with the Proud Family thing. And John Boyega, how he's like, we need to be aiming this energy at them. It's like you say that good shit and you can spark some conversation and you can see these different sides of this like black argument or whatever, or what we should be doing. But at the same time, it's all jaw jacking because you will gladly go back and work for them white folks that you're saying that we should be aiming this energy at, as opposed to going to create your own thing over here. And like I said with my Proud Family video that's taking me forever to do with this black writer, instead of, if you hate white folks so much, instead of sitting there bitching about it, take your ass somewhere else. And where's that black animation company where you can be a writer over there? And I'm not saying infuse it with racial or racist rhetoric. That's your own prerogative. Put yourself out there and people will deal with you. That will respond accordingly. But this is like I see too many of us fighting to be under some white person, as opposed to let's create our own and build wealth for ourselves. And I would give like Dave Chappelle, for instance, I'll give him pushback when he had his special. He was saying that the alphabet community is so like together and they're on one accord. And he said if only black folks had that, you can only imagine what we could have done. Well, I will say with Black Lives Matter, we did have that. I didn't agree with Black Lives Matter, but I was at least trying to see what they're about in the beginning. But I saw it was a bunch of tantrum throwing and more so making victims this victimhood, as opposed to building, like I said, building for our own. So I was like, okay, no, y'all ain't about nothing. But black people did have all eyes on them. They did have the attention. And what did they do?
We had all eyes on us in the 90s, sir. We had an entire decade. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Me and Justin Nice are gonna want to do a video about this called Brothers in Cinema.
I
Because
mean, as far as a
had
group,
eyes on us.
I mean, as far as an organized group that was
You don't
making.
need a group or an organization to be about you when you're seen in every facet of entertainment as either the
I'm
smart
not
guy or
saying you need that.
you
I'm
don't.
pushing back on Dave Chappelle saying what black people could have accomplished if we were more together like the alphabet community.
Bro, we
That's
went
all I'm saying.
we went from not being allowed anywhere to the presidency within 55 years.
Uh-huh.
There are more black billionaires now than there ever have been.
Uh-huh.
What other progress are you trying to ask for people that are 13% of the population, relatively? We've had all eyes on us since the 90s in entertainment and sports.
Okay.
When they do the Olympics, they don't win without us.
I said as a group of black people coming together to decide what do we want? How do we want to build? Again, with that group, people with different professions.
To be sovereignty. You know, you never saw the troubadour trying to figure out the age-old question of what women want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put you on game. He had to ask a witch about it, and she told him, like, I'll tell you what the answer is, but you have to promise to marry me. Dude was so desperate, he said, I will tell you. What do women want? She tells him it's sovereignty. It's all anybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we actually had that in the 90s, like, we were fine. These was going along great. By the time from 1964 to 2008, which is 44 years, we went from just being say, hey, come eat with us, to now we know that as Americans, no matter how inexplicable, I am the first black president. Barack Obama, bitches. We went from that in 44 years.
So tell me this. Because I see Zach's talking about the Olympics, and I remember the Harlem Globetrotters. But tell me, what black organizations or what black ownership came as a result of sovereignty in the 90s? I'm not saying black people being allowed to exist and be seen. Okay, so I'm saying just like we got John Boyega and the black writer at Proud Family, just like them bitching about how white people handle us, where are the black people pulling moves like Ripper to say I'm creating my own company and I'm owning my own shit? I'm not doing this for black people and for no specific group and only want their dollar like the Black Sands dude. I'm saying what black ownership came as a result of that, so that we're not being typecast for other people's movies, but we can create our own shit and depict our people how we want.
Well, that's the thing, is you're saying that true freedom means it goes anywhere. And because it's anywhere, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the most popular. So there's a problem that says, hey, Milestone Comics. There's a whole thing, black people. Not necessarily for
they
black
got
people,
bought.
Hey,
they got bought by white people.
That is fine. You create it for yourself. Did you not say that?
I did.
Jordan. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you have true freedom, you can go wherever you want with this, which means you either are going to sell it to white people or you're just going to keep making what you make for everybody. You can't go into something being a product for another bigger company and then bitch about it. I agree. I get that. Oh no, Tyler Perry typecast himself and wearing some fucking stockings, and carrying around a 22 pistol.
I'm laughing at Dempsey. I was except swimming. I'm an exceptional black swimmer.
I'm telling
you,
right now,
I'm an exceptional swimmer that's black.
I'll tell you right now, if LeBron James hops in that pool, it's over for bitches. That's all I'm saying. Number one, Shiro used to be in swimming. She's like, for one thing, ain't no one waking up at 5 in the goddamn morning to take you swimming at nowhere. That's a hard sport to keep continually doing, especially when it's cold. I think it was who? Jonathan Majors?
No, he said Tyler Perry. Think what you want. He's doing his own thing.
I
feel that. But again, I'm saying where's the black animation company? Where's the black movie company putting out the movies? Like Jay-Z tried to Harder They Fall. Like he's doing his thing.
That was terrible. That was a terrible version. That was terrible. You're telling me that all no. I'll play this. Let's do this. Let's say that you and I are put in the movie, right?
You still answer my question though.
Which one?
What with our sovereignty, with us being
sovereignty,
sovereignty.
Sovereignty doesn't mean that you actually have to cater to one group or another. Sovereignty means I make what I make everyone.
I didn't say cater to a group. I said, where are the Black-owned companies that are able to make the decisions of depicting Black people as they want instead of working for white people and bitching about how they depict us while still taking on those roles?
Sir, I'm saying we're doing that right now. We're doing this right now. I'm saying we've all, and if we go further back enough, I'm pretty sure we can go back and find people that have been doing this. Robert Townsend has been doing this shit for decades. And that's just one guy I know off the top of my head. There was even a situation to where Black actors actually were having their own shows with their name on it. Did we not have Martin?
Yes.
Did we not have the D.L. Hewley show?
Did they own it? Did they own it? Did they own it? What happened to Chappelle? Yeah. Didn't he get into a whole thing with like trying to fight for the rights for a Chappelle show?
Right. And did they make any more shows called Chappelle Show without Chappelle in them?
No, they didn't. But he still had to go through all of those legal hoops to own something that had his name on it.
You agreed to that. You agreed to go into contracts. Hey, I'm giving you the rights to this, but it's still my name on there. And without me, this ain't gonna work. Without me, you can't use it, because there never was a Chappelle show that came after that. And so they did maybe 4 episodes with Charlie Murphy by himself. Didn't work out. Like, there's one thing about having your own show. There's another thing about going to an agreement with someone. Hey, I have a content, but I don't have production. You've got production. You don't have. Oh, I said Robert Townsend, sir. Parenthood, Hollywood Shuffle, Meteor Man, you name it. That's what I'm saying.
Are they not owned by somebody else? We was having this conversation about girlfriends. Bro, we was having this conversation about girlfriends.
Meteor Man is a Marvel comic now, bro, because of what Robert Townsend did. That's his.
Owned by white people. So if they decide to make a Meteor Man movie where they kill him and bring in his gay Black son, it is what it is.
If it's your property, you can't do it, bro. All I'm saying is it's hard to have creative content, have a production, have all that to put it out. You would need backers. Fun, possibly.
Just like you talking about Idris Elba playing a shitty Black dude. Well, they had a whole bunch of shitty American Black dudes in there too.
Oh, they
playing those roles.
They can all get smoke. And I know people that actually are from that area said that we will not watch a documentary because it really is like that.
That's what's up.
All of them get smoke. And I will say, yo, you bring them up in here, boom, roasted, boom, smoke, boom, roasted. I will smoke you all day for doing I'm not promising violence. I'm saying I have, emotional and verbal smoke for those people for playing the worst versions of us. That's all I'm saying. And I will say, the more that you try to say we have to have Black on this, Black on that, Black on that, Black on this, is like, well, I mean, I thought sovereignty means you are a person. You are what Idris said he was. I'm just a person, right? If I'm just a person, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to be for anyone or anything. So if I want to lend my talent someplace else that happens to be white, I can do that.
And at no point did I say cater to Black people.
But you can't bitch about it. And that's the problem.
Bitch about what?
Oh, they're not taking me seriously, or man, where are the rest of the Black characters? No.
That's not Idris's problem. That's John Boyega. But again, this like double operative. You bitch about it, but you still go and work for him.
That's why I'm saying his comments are completely worthless to me.
Yeah, I feel you.
That. You're like, shut up. I saw you on there trying to say Black Lives Matter, but you couldn't say like Block Lives Matter. Like blocks. Like, no, we ain't playing with Build-A-Bear over here. Building blocks. No, I said Block Lives Matter. I know, but like we don't have building blocks over. We're talking about Black Lives. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, close enough. Just come over.
Stop it, because John Boyega British too.
And he had cornrows when he went to the protest, did he not? Okay. Right? They're trying to be us. They're trying to go all the way, right? They said, let me get them cornrows. They'll know I'm about it over here. Master P ain't got shit on me, son.
I'm going to go to a Black-owned business.
Right.
Probably.
They don't have tea and crumpets over here. I'm gonna get the fuck back to Starbucks.
Oh, never mind. What the fuck was I thinking?
Exactly.
I can't do the voice. You got the voice.
It's okay. God damn it. They don't have any cup of tea over here. Tea and biscuits and bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They're mad over there, man. Completely mad. They have too many problems over here.
He's like, what the fuck is these Mama Nem cookies?
What a famous Amos.
Bro, they took Famous Amos off the box.
Son of a bitch.
They done got Famous Amos. They done got Aunt Jemima. They got do they got Uncle Ben?
Nope. Oh no,
They
no,
got
not
another
Uncle
black
Ben.
dude.
But Lando Lakes is out in the Butter game too.
So,
They just
so
did
they got the Native
Sunrise.
American, and now they got the black dude making the famous Amos cookies. Y'all, it's happening before our very eyes.
Boom, boom. There you go. Look at that. Robert Townsend is the copyright holder for Media Man. Anything to do that character needs his consent. Boom. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Robert
what's up.
Townsend shows you the blueprint.
Thank you. Look, okay, but that does go back to, like I said, all them black folks around me talking about some you want some white folks shit. It's cool when the one-offs do it. And you know what? When I do it, Ripper did it, any other black person to do it. That's great. We're showing that it can be done, but it's up to those people to actually take the knowledge and go forth and pursue it, as opposed to victimhood mentality and begging for the resources of white people.
Right. Okay. I'll agree with you there. It's like, hey, if you're gonna do it, do it. Go in fully knowing what it's gonna be and not bitch at the outcome. I'll tell you this. I told you this last night. I'm telling y'all in the chat, right? I went to go see Pooh, Love and Honey last night, and that shit was the most unintentionally funny thing I have ever seen. Shiro was so pissed. She was like, I have a 132 IQ and it was wasted watching this movie. But I laughed my ass off because I knew what I was getting into. We'll talk about it tomorrow on Ordinary Games. We might be going live earlier in the morning, but best believe she is still upset about that. But I went in fully knowing what it was, so I couldn't complain. And that's the problem I have, is that when people go into these businesses that are going to be what they would deem as predominantly white, they are given these roles and that's not enough for them. And then they are like, well, hey, there's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem there, there's a problem here. And so they're just like, well, they're bitching about something that they agreed to. I will say that Sinbad had this problem years ago because he had his own production team. He knew how to do editing. He knew how to write scripts. And they deemed him as someone that was difficult to work with. And he lost out on a lot of roles because of that. But he was saying, no, I just know how to do this. So when it's not done right, I understand it. That's different. When you know what you're doing, you can do it across multiple facets of the game, and people deem you difficult because they might not be as proficient. That's completely different. That's when you will say, hey, look, we really do need more of us that actually know what we're doing to get together and do it ourselves.
Yeah, I talked about Kevin Grievous. He's an example of what representation means to me and how it is important. You don't necessarily have to see yourself on the screen, because besides him in the Underworld movies, I don't remember another black character. But knowing that a black guy made it, him living out my dreams, him doing them, that was important to me. And from what he said, I don't think he got writer's credit. It was some other guy. But
because they had to boast it.
Yeah, and he was new to the industry, so he said you might have to give up some of your babies in order to get in. And that's what's up, that he did that, because now he is going more of the independent route and making his own stuff, because he's like, okay, this is where the money is going to be. Otherwise, you're always going to have somebody in charge of you dictating your moves. So yes, Kevin Grievous is one of my
heroes.
Heroes. There you go.
But you need to get him on the show at some point, man. That'd be great.
Bro, we're gonna have to come with a comic book. I don't know. I guess I lowball myself somewhere. The Master Armorer for the vampires in the first movie was also a black character.
Yeah.
In the first movie, or are you talking about the prequel?
Underworld. I think it's about Underworld.
Yeah, Underworld or Rise of the Lycans.
Bald dude. The skinny bald dude. With the underbelly.
I don't remember, but John, y'all check out Cousin Terrence Pancakes. That shit's legit good. I don't have those. We got some dudes. I think, what's his name? Not Stubbs. Maybe it's Stubbs. It's somebody here in Texas. Some black-owned dude who made got some barbecue products, some barbecue stuff.
Check them out.
Yeah, the main badass of the vampires and the werewolves were both black dudes. Okay, yeah. I remember Kevin. I can't exactly remember another one, but
you don't remember him. He was a skinny black dude. You know when you see him.
He was a vampire.
Yeah, he was a vampire. He helped Celine. He was like the armorer.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay, yes, I do.
That dude.
When he was showing all the like gadgets and shit. Okay,
how to stop them? Like you have a bullet with that has what you call on the inside.
Yeah.
You've got the little silver nitrate in there.
Mm-hmm. Bit late to the party. How's things? Thoughts on fitness? What up, man? We just black on black crime being committed right now.
Holy fuck,
Underworld
I didn't
one.
know it was him.
Brother Voodoo was great as well. Yeah, I said Brother Voodoo should have been in the goddamn Wakanda series on Disney Plus. But there you go. Fuck Don Cheadle. He was the one who developed the silver nitrate bullets. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that topic. And Zach, you know what I mean by this, but like unlike others, we can disagree over here. We can have our opinions.
Oh yeah.
And we're not gonna switch just because people don't agree or it's not the approved narrative. The only way to get to actual solutions is to have honest conversations about these. So let me actually exit out of those. Now we're getting into and it's crazy because I got a dog training client at 2, but she's only 17 minutes away. So I'll mess with y'all. I'll play around for a bit. What up, Gordon, good brother?
Yeah, bro. I was so harsh on John Tito, man.
Brother Voodoo, definite fit.
I'm gonna step out for 2 minutes. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Look, my white brothers are with me on this. And I'm telling y'all, black people are not a monolith because all the black folks like, no, you hate yourself. The shit that they tell Ripper. It's like, bro, we want to see more honest representation. We want to see some more cool ass black characters in here. But what they accept Riri Williams with fucking cornrows on the outfit and bringing in that dumb shit who is, again, Shuri is already a super smart, genius little black girl. So why can't we get some mysticism in there? Why we couldn't get Brother Voodoo? But anyway, actually, Miss Damon Wayans as an action star, he slayed me in Major Pain. Would you consider that an action star, Dempsey? But I definitely got you. Oh, Major Pain. Nah, man, we don't see movies like that anymore. I didn't like that the Wayans brothers always did like some parody of despite Scary Movie being hilarious as fuck. But you know, I don't want to see black versions of things necessarily, or especially black parody. Yeah, I would like to see black people just make shit. That's, I guess, from a black perspective.
Word.
Or just in black people's hands. Yeah, Iron Cornrows was so cringe. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with the suit? As well as the Midnight Angels. And I was saying this on the other episode when Circle of Jerks was over here with Zax and Flaccid. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that the Midnight Angels, which I looked it up, they came out in 2010. So that was 2011 was Miles Morales and all different characters. So it was this push for diversity and all that type of shit. But I think the attack on like gender norms or gender roles as well, because the Midnight Angels, which I can't say what happened in the comic book, but for it to happen in that movie after after T'Challa died, it seems to me like, well, they shaved their heads as a symbol of like loyalty or a sacrifice for their king to show that their loyalty to him. So as soon as he's gone, now they can't grow their hair overnight. I guess maybe, I don't know, but so they got outfits that had dreadlocks on them to symbolize they're liberated. The patriarch, down with the patriarchy. Now we have our feminine liberation or whatever. So anyway, that's how I felt about that. So yeah, her having a little flat cornrows was weird. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker was another great film.
Hilarious.
I went back and watched some of these. Even as a kid, I hated watching these black struggle movies. I'm like, bro, I'm tired of seeing that type of shit. I want to watch something cool, like Underworld. Vampires and werewolves kicking ass and shit. As a kid back in the 70s, I loved the mystery of T'Challa. He was a king and an Avenger. How cool. Yeah, he was cool. He was an animal enough for me. I was like, you fake ass Panther. But then I liked seeing when he actually was with the Panther or were a Panther type shit. But that was small compared to the rest of everything else. Then Falcon get a bulletproof suit made for him. It was completely missing the top of the head part of it. LOL. At least there isn't anything vital in the top part of your head. Hey, Falcon could have been fucking great. And me and Ego talk about it. To see Falcon and the Winter Soldier, sure. That series, the name of it is not terrible, but what they used it for was terrible. And I would have loved to see this man communicating telepathically with this goddamn bird. And yeah, anyway, we had our own little fan fiction story on that, whatever. But the urban struggle movies made little AJ sad. That made me sad, man. So Friday, they was having fun with Friday, but all that other shit, man, I was like, Come on, bro. All right, y'all dropping them comments. Let's hurry up and get to this next topic. One that most of y'all really want to talk about, the Flash trailer.
Yeah.
I was waiting on you to say something.
Wait for you to break it down, bro.
Of course, people, we got to stop it. We got to talk copyright claims. I got plenty of those on the channel. So if I do decide to get monetized, speaking of monetization, there you go. All right, there's that Cash App. All right, we unlike John Boyega, okay, I'm not trying to wait for the validation of others. Okay, so monetize myself. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Me and Ego gonna split this though, so it got my name on it, but
okay,
but
good.
it's our it's our money.
I'm knocking on his door. I said, hey, I saw we got that money today. My half player.
He said, "Hey, you wasn't talking to yourself on that stream."
I pull up like Big Worm.
Big Perm.
I want money, Smokey.
Man, I'm just playing with you, man. You know I got your money. All right, man. All right. So let's talk about that Flash trailer. I got thoughts.
Right, so before you bring it up, I know
up?
that everyone was when I put it on Twitter after I saw the trailer, which we will bring up and kind of talk about. I had to preface what I was saying because everyone wanted to jump on the actual people playing them instead of the actual characters they portray. I said, what I mean to say is, look, first off, they're both very annoying characters of established characters. We know that Tom Holland is playing Iron Boy, which is a terrible and annoying version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller is playing the terrible and annoying version of Wally West's Flash. Number two, I don't give a shit what you do off camera. You kick puppies and piss on cats for all I care.
Don't be kicking puppies.
It's
don't be
psychopath engineering. But I will say I don't care. You're an actor, which means your job is to be a professional liar by trade. You're supposed to make me believe that looking directly at you, you aren't the you you're showing me. You're somebody else. Even though when I look at you, I see Ezra Miller, but you've convinced me that you are Barry Allen, or you are Tom Holland, but you've convinced me you are Peter Parker. That's their job. So I don't care what you do off camera. Because we've seen people that have squeaky clean images on camera and are in some other shit off camera. And we find people that have been falsely accused of things off camera that don't necessarily have any bearing on what they do on camera. So to me, it is a wash. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that, hey, I'm telling you, just based on what I see, these are my thoughts. Literally based on what's on screen and put in front of me for entertainment consumption.
Man, I'm glad we're on the same page with that one because we've already talked about all the things that he's done, and he should have paid consequences a long time ago. But that didn't happen. So yes, looking at this, I don't give a shit about none of it. And Ezra Miller is one ingredient into a pot of degeneracy, and I can't speak for everybody else, but I believe these people got satanic cults back there. I think they fucking kids and getting people killed, all that type of shit. I believe a bunch of weird shit has happened.
I will say this. All right. Like,
and when I say they, I'm not talking about Ezra Miller. I'm talking about the industry.
Yeah, well, I would say this. Let's say something like that did happen to you when you were relatively young, right? And so obviously your parents didn't care enough because they didn't watch you enough to safeguard this from happening. And it's happened. And the fact that everyone sees the person you portray to be the real you, which means they don't really see beyond the facade that you put up because you are obviously guarded. What if someone came around and tell you, hey, this is the antidote for getting over what happened to you, or the reason why that this happened to you, and it happens to be insert drug, active deviancy, or whatever debased religion you want? Why wouldn't you go that route? So you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason behind the degeneracy. The problem would be like, why aren't you just as degenerate? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping?
I don't honestly get what you're saying.
Okay, I'm saying that there's a possibility that maybe something did happen to him. He was young. And to deal with that, someone said, hey, if you just dress, maybe they maybe it's because you may not be who you say you are, you think you are. So that could be insert, the cross-dressing, the attitudes, all the symbolism and stuff that he tries to throw up, like satanic gang signs. Like if someone tried to give you an out or not a savior, but a something to lean on, why wouldn't you take it, given on what we think might have happened to you when you were younger? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why do people?
So
It's
what are
like
you
saying
saying? What are you saying is his antidote or to lean on?
all the shit that he's
His
into
way
now.
out.
All the shit that he's into now could be ways to deal with what possibly has happened to him, or his way
Okay.
with dealing with the fact that he can't go outside. Like, I don't know what life would be like if I couldn't go outside. Like if I go out and everyone said, "That's ego, be ego, man, do the thing," or say the phrase or be the person. It's like you know me, what I'm like off camera. It isn't necessarily much different than what I'm on camera, but like, say I never got to hang out with you anymore. Like one of us blew up, and like I'm often somewhere in Hollywood, and you're around, but I can't really do this with you. And then I'm dealing with the fact that, I can't go outside anymore. People know me for one person. The only person that knows me is AJ, and AJ is off doing his own thing. So let's say someone comes around and tries to give me a way to deal with it. Why wouldn't I take it? So I'm saying, I say that for a lot of these people that are
I get
into
what you're
very
saying.
weird shit. That's what I'm saying. So I'm
Okay.
saying, hey, he might be into this shit because he might be dealing with his own shit. Because because more than anything, we love a second chance, right? There's a reason Robert Downey Jr. is so beloved, because like, yo, man, we remember when you were on that shit and you worked it out and you became one of the biggest stars in the world. Wow. Like your growth is amazing.
The difference though with that, from to my knowledge, Robert Downey Jr. was on drugs to himself.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
So his own issues, whereas Ezra Miller's issues extended out to other people. Other people were affected.
Allegedly. That's what I'm saying.
I got you, but
One,
I'm just saying with your examples, it's like
no, they're not.
I feel you on second chances.
It's not going to be apples to apples. All I'm saying is self-destructive behavior that does affect others. Your drug and alcohol abuse does affect who you're with or who you're around. So it's not like all the things that he did were like self-contained. I'm saying his spirals out, but for the most part, we're hearing about adults. Like, they were this age when they first talked to them, but by the time that they made that decision, they're technically an adult wherever they live. So, like, once you're an adult, you can make adult decisions, good, bad, and different. So, all I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, if something happened to you when you were young and you take up whatever hobby that might be somewhat degenerate in someone else's eyes, why wouldn't they do that? If anything,
I'm tired of talking about Ezra Miller. Let's talk about the Flash. Fuck Ezra Miller.
You did this. Anyway.
No, I didn't. I said I'm glad we're on the same page of not wanting to talk about him and talk about the movie. And here we go to spend 3 to 5 minutes on him.
Just bring up the beautiful bean footage, bro. I'll let you know. Go ahead.
All right. Dempsey said, assuming those stories do, in fact, because you let the comments pile up, do in fact need to be told. How do you tell them effectively? If you're talking about the black struggle shit, look, we can still have that. I'm not saying you can't depict it like we some untouchable group or something. I'm saying I saw a lot of that shit. But at the same time, again, I did grow up in the 90s, and the 90s was black as fuck. With like all that, Keaton and Kel, not Proud Family, but Disney, like a lot of that shit. So yeah, man, you could tell them. Everyone's justified for their own actions in their own mind. Agreed. I like to see people do things I like. I don't mention color is beneath me and people like me. Thank goodness. Yeah, I pay attention to stuff though, but I got you. That's why I said black people are not untouchable. So you can see the worst depictions of every other race, then yes, give us that smoke as well. But I did see a lot of that. And it's probably just, again, that culture of me growing up around. That's all that they fucking pushed. That's all that was fucking on TV. That's all the people. I watched these black struggle movies on accident. Somebody put that shit on and I was around. More than likely, I was drawing something or like playing a game, though. But anyway, what's worse than one Ezra Miller? 2 of them. Yes. And you get annoying as I hated him as the Flash already. So now you get to see him be terrible twice. Everything I hear about this Flash movie is because of the Batman. Yep. Act like a man once, please. I don't like my Flash squirrely. Agreed. I don't like him as Flash. Terrible casting. Richard Roundtree, Woody Strode, Sidney Poitier, and James Earl Jones, all heroes to me. Yeah, Ego, you said there was like 3, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but there was a lot of great black dudes doing the thing. And you muted, so I'm gonna keep on going so that you don't stop me. The S Code thing is out in the open. They aren't even trying to hide it. Yep, Hollywood has been getting away with degeneracy and victimized children since the beginning. Right. So the smoke that we got for Ezra Miller, everybody need to have that same shit. Fuck all of them. And I don't see that mentality. So we're just gonna keep on be bitching into the ether and things won't change. Me and AJ on the same page, all of them. What's up, guys? Y'all talking about Holly weird, super weird, super
Agreed.
weird. Yeah, what up, take it home? We're about to get into this Flash trailer. If you're vulnerable in Hollywood, they smell it. Mm-hmm. Ezra knows every single ball sack and detail at Hollywood. Damn, probably. But that's if he, if he bent over, then he can't really see it. But he probably feel them balls.
Ball braille.
Huh?
You can do like ball braille.
Yes, I got you. That's fine, but Ezra has done way too much. Yep. How's hell the Lord doing? How's hell the Lord doing? I think hell good. Everyone is justified their own actions. You pulled that up already. Hollywood be like, we are not satanic kitty dealers. Anyway, here's our award show musical performance by the satanic performer with his hit song "We Diddle Kids." Crazy. And Sam Smith, I was one of those bumping that song. Come on, just stay with me. I still bump that shit. And they was like, he gay, right? He talking about a man. I was like, look, well, I'm talking about my wife. So the Flash movie is hyped because of the Batman, not because of Flash or Supergirl. This Flash movie has the putrid smell of the Speed Force all over it, and time travel. Time travel almost never works out well for storytelling. I have a bad feeling about this. And universes. Ezra Miller is Shia LaBeouf 2.0. What Shia LaBeouf do, man?
No,
I love Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf had a big alcohol issue, but Honey Boy was his own therapy. So I will say I don't like people putting their therapy into other things, but him making Honey Boy was about how his dad basically pushed him to something that he may not necessarily wanted him to do. But it's a difficult thing of saying, I'm glad I am where I am, but fuck you for putting me in this position as a child for having to carry the entire family. So I will say he's been relatively low key since Honey Boy dropped.
And that was the same issue with what was her name? Was it McCurdy? From
Macaulay Culkin?
From Zoe 101. Damn, y'all know him. Jeanette McCurdy. Jeanette
McCurdy. That was from the other. That wasn't that. That was shit. I know which one you're talking about. Jeanette McCurdy. Yeah, she was in the oh damn it, man.
Not Zoe 101. Yeah, that was Britney Spears' sister. The iCarly.
Yes.
She was talking about her mom was pushing her to do that because they was making the money. So as a kid, you got to carry the family on your back.
That's what I'm saying. So once after he did Honey Boy, he's been relatively low key. We haven't heard anything about him. I think once he went to like alcohol, went into AA or NA2, and he was in a bunch of weird kids' feet shit.
Yeah.
So can you imagine her knowing that shit and Mom, this dude's weird. Like, no, keep making this money, honey.
Yeah. Well, he ain't really he ain't doing nothing to you. Some. So it's fine. It's fine.
I can pinky toe.
Yeah. And now when I watch all that and shit like the Amanda show, and I see him, and I'm just like, I'm seeing some weird stuff now. What is that about? What is that about? But I'm like, my kid brain. I'm like, I'm jamming, bro. Jam.
I'm not gonna lie, Shia can freestyle. Actually, his 5 Fingers of Death was not bad at all.
Yeah, I like Shia LaBeouf.
It's pretty good.
That's my man. That's my man. We're gonna rap on her one day. We got to get Lofty because Lofty claimed he can rap and he spit some rap one time. We're gonna have some fun one day. We're just gonna chill, stream. We're just gonna rap. We're just gonna chill.
Give me a beat. I'll rap the Cat in the Hat. That's as good as I got it.
Okay. I can rap. You can dance.
Green Eggs.
We could do something with that.
Ooh, a rap interpretive dance, you say?
Bro, let's get to the trailer, man.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's get to the trailer.
I apologize. We're acting real niggerish right now. Sorry.
I know. Oh, he said it. You told me not to say it.
I said niggerish. Niggerish. That with the E.
Okay. I've been saying less of the word because of you. Thank you for making me better, sir.
I said niggerish. Well, I put an E in there.
Be specific.
Within I, we have problems. Okay.
Wolf guy said trailer time. Heard the fuck
Sorry
up.
about that. We've been forever.
Yeah, lofty rap. Oh shit. Take it home. I'll freestyle too. I'm from Texas as well, bro. I'm from Memphis. I'm from Tennessee. I ain't repping Texas like that. I'm repping Texas because I'm here, but we talking about roots, son. I'm Tennessee.
Hey, come through. I will interpretive dance to all that raps.
Stop it. I see you. Never mind. All right, trailer time.
Throw it up. We'll let this play until they say the word, and then I'll just jump to different parts of the movie so that we have to actually play it out all the way through. All right.
Until they say the word. Okay.
Yeah, like I'll say for this one, just play it until you hear the phrase. I'll say stop right here, and then I'll get my thoughts. Then I'll get your thoughts. Then I'll jump to the next. I'll say, hey, let's go to 52 seconds now, and then just freeze it there instead of having to play it through so we can avoid a copyright strike. Wow.
Y'all, the only thing Lofty can rap. Yeah, we take shots at Lofty, but I hope Lofty is listening. I hope Lofty knows it's all love and we want to have fun. I don't sit on Lofty. Fire. Yeah. A lot of people compare me to Lofty and say my takes are like his, so I find kinship in Lofty.
All right.
So ahead, Lofty is no hate over here, man.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You go anywhere. I'm just stopping it. I don't know how long.
I know, that's fine. Keep going. That's fine. Let's go. Go ahead. That's fine. All right.
Another timeline.
Another timeline. This Michael Keaton talking?
No, that's Ben Affleck talking.
Another universe.
Oh, this guy.
So why do you want to stay?
You said what?
I said that's Batfleck still talking to him. That was Batfleck on the bicycle, the bike too.
Mm-hmm.
Fight to save this one. Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again.
God damn. Okay. I thought that was Mark Ruffalo for a second there. I was like, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker.
I kind of did too.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Time has a pattern.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Oh, you got 3 more seconds, and I was gonna freeze it anyway for you.
That it can't help reliving.
Stop. Okay. To me, I'm saying, if time has a pattern that it can't keep reliving, right? Then it would be that, hey, if you keep doing this, well, then there's one situation in which your mom dies, but there's another alternate universe where she doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm understanding it correctly, right?
I don't know. I really couldn't pick up anything from this trailer.
So
I just heard words.
If time has a pattern, right? Well, then it means that in your timeline, your mom was always destined to die, right? Mm-hmm. There was a movie that did this. Like it was like The Time Traveler with Guy Pearce. He tries to go into the future to find a cure for his wife so he can go back to the past to fix her. But he keeps going back in time to help fix her. And even if he saves it from an illness, she gets run over by a carriage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, she was always destined to die. Stop. Like, time is cyclic. And in this situation, your mom was destined to die in your timeline. So you going back in time to fix it and going back into an alternate timeline means your presence fucks with your mom living in that timeline. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're saying going against timelines and multiverses. Well, to me, it's like, well, it seems like you just went into another dimension to where your mom lives. So like you don't know whether or not she dies because of you being there. So for the safety of it all, you have to let it be. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like you'll see it when he talks to Ben Affleck's character, but it's like, yo, you could mess up everything just by being there. We learned this, in Back to the Future. You either implode the world or you pass out. But it's like you being here is a problem. You're not supposed to be here. You mess the very fabric of time itself. If we're talking about it on a string instead of a loop, you're messing with the threads of it just by being here. All right. The next thing we can do it to is if you skip to 52 seconds in.
Where we at now? 37?
37, yeah, just jump 15 seconds in. I mean, if you just want to go right there so you can avoid playing it, that's fine.
I kind of, for the sake of time, because I got a client at 2 o'clock. Let me just skip through.
Yeah, let's go 52. Oh, That's 48. It's close enough.
Okay, so he touched the
I'm like-
mom.
Right, but he's also looking at himself. So it's like,
My face.
okay, so we're not in a linear timeline. We're in a different timeline. So just by you being here messes with your mom actually living. No, it is this deep, sir. Okay, I'm telling you this. It is this deep.
So are you saying that him being there, consequences will occur, and you want the movie to acknowledge that?
It's not that. It's just the fact that there isn't. In the original Flashpoint paradox, he goes back and tries to save his mom, right?
Mhm.
His mom may live, but everything explodes out of that.
Yeah.
But it's not like there are two Barry Allens. There's
Yeah.
only one. Because you are you, whether or not you're there or not. You just take the space of the you that's there.
Okay.
There aren't multiple yous in that universe. Because as we'll see, there are different. Batman is Batman, even though he looks different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, well, you being in that universe, you're still you in that universe. There's not another you that's around.
So in the Flashpoint story, when he went back in time, there was no kid, Barry.
Well, it's just saying that there was just like, well, because you changed it, you grow up to be Barry, but you're the adult you without the powers, but you're still you. You remember what happened, but no one else does because you affected it. But you grow on to be the person that you would have been in that universe had what you changed hadn't happened. You don't meet you in that time frame unless you're saying this is a different universe. And I'm saying if you did that, you messed up everything worse. So there's no problem. There's no reason to actually go back. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And my issues with this was because in Flashpoint Paradox, there was no two Barrys. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what this shit is right here.
Right. The thing that should have been was like he touched his mom, be like, Mom's like, honey, I just saw you leave. What's wrong? Are you okay? Like, you just left out. Are you sure? Like, I already packed your lunch. Here, go on about your day. She wouldn't have looked at you any different because you're still you.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been like, did you cut your hair? Like, because it was shoulder length last time and now it's a crew cut. Did you change your hair? It wouldn't be that. You would still be you.
Yeah.
Because you would have grown into the adult version of you had the tragedy you saved not happened. So it's just an adult version of you. You're just in that. You're taking up the space.
So, okay. And like I said, this shit was confusing watching it. But then again, I'm biased. I didn't give a shit watching it. But I wanted to see what everybody was going to talk about. So he's going back in time in this one string of this universe.
That's the issue. Is that
because he's looks the same, but the other Batman are different.
It's because of this. In DC comic terms, alternate realities and alternate times are not the same thing. So because he didn't necessarily grow into the him that he would have been without his mom dying, he's in an alternate. I mean, I would say it's more of an alternate reality. Alternate timeline assumes that you're still you. Alternate reality means it's like you can still interact with yourself because it's not technically you. You look the same and that's about it. But that's what I'm saying. Like if he went back in time to change his mom, it's like, well, are you telling me he made a mistake? He went to an alternate reality instead? Well, then the Speed Force is ruled null and void because the Speed Force dealt with mainly time. See what I'm saying? So like he's saying any timeline into an alternate reality? Yeah. Yeah, he's in an another universe. Like that's even worse. And that just bothers me. I'm talking more. I saw more animation. I need to read the comic book again, but
yeah, I mean, I read the comic and saw the animation. I read the book and saw the animation, but when it's so far apart, shit starts to kind of blend together. So that's why I'm asking you. Like, I don't remember. I know there weren't two Flashes, but I can't remember if a kid Flash was there, like him without the powers as a kid.
No. So basically, in at least the animated version of it, when he goes back in time, he still works for the Central City Police Department.
Yeah,
he just doesn't have any powers. He's like, well, hey, my mom lived. Life went on as normal, so I still want him having the same job. I just don't have any powers. Yeah, my head hurts now. That's what I'm saying. Like I held on to this. I've been holding on to this since Sunday. My head is hurt all week because it's like that's the problem I have is the fact that where's Thawne?
Yeah, and who
Saying
is a completely different person. So folks saying like, "Ooh, he got
right.
the yellow on. Ooh, it's
No,
reverse that," and I'm like,
no.
"But,
He's
but
wearing the inverted colors.
yeah,
That's even dumber because like technically if it's an alternate reality, you don't interact with yourself. You interact with someone else that has your name but looks completely different because every Batman in this movie looks completely different than the last. It's the same problem they had with Spider-Man No Way Home. It's like you brought in alternate Spider-Man and they all look different, but all the villains look the same. Really?
yeah."
It's like an inverted problem. That's why Flash is the No Way Home of the DCU because you would have someone that looks this would have been a perfect time to bring in Wallace West and say he's Kid Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, hey, this universe has to have a Flash, just like every universe has to have a Batman. This would have worked.
Might be
God
3
damn it,
flashes. Yeah, it's a lot going
motherfucker!
on.
He was.
All right, let me keep going.
All right, then
Stole
well,
my
you can
face.
skip 59
My
seconds.
face. You stole my face.
My face.
If you were to go into the past,
Now this right here, him getting hit by lightning a second fucking time to actually affect Ezra Miller getting hit by lightning too makes no point. Are you supposed to be faster than fast now because you got hit a second time, or does that nullify out what powers you already had? Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to see which Flash is which, and the
So
short
the
hair one
short
seems to be
haired one is the Snyderverse. Long haired one is the alternate. The
okay.
problem is that
So
here they're showing that they have to recreate the lightning strike that gave Flash his powers. Only problem is he's already been hit by lightning and he already has his powers from what they've shown us. So even if he got hit by lightning, it's hitting hit by lightning a second time when you've already had the powers that make you supercharged, or does that nullify out your powers?
but you remember in Flashpoint Paradox when Thomas Wayne was trying to help him to recreate it, and he kept
Yeah.
getting hit with the lightning multiple times. So I'm like, is that what they trying to do? But
Yeah,
different.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like, well, I thought he already had the powers because he had enough to get him there. Why is there no residual power left over? And why does it have to hit him and hit him at the same time to give you all the same amount of powers?
So
You know
I
what I'm
will
saying?
say, Ego. I think we're probably putting more thought into it than these creators.
I will say
So
it lacks basic consistency. That's all.
yeah. I get that.
Yeah, sets of realities have completely different separate sets of timeline, but alternate timelines can spin off into exact, and that's the problem I'm having. So wait,
And
how does
this
someone?
is but this is the issue that the MCU has already had. It's like we jump into this multiverse shit and it's causing way more problems as opposed to just staying in your contained world and
Right,
going from there. And
bro.
then maybe we can visit some multiverse shit later on. But this man talking about the MCU can go for another 80 plus years. Motherfucker, no,
No,
it ain't. Your
no,
80
that
years was in the all the
sit
content
your
that you
ass
skipped
down.
over,
Sit your
bro.
ass down. Well, no, I mean, so this is the other thing is the fact that like, and I'll talk about it once we get to it. But it's the problem I can say is like shown here because I have to get hit by lightning a second time, even though I had the powers to get me into this alternate Earth. So technically, it's not an alternate reality that I'm in. So I am outside of that reality. So I didn't lose anything coming into this reality. So me getting hit by a second lightning bolt is going to do one of two things. It's either going to nullify the powers that I do have, or it's going to supercharge what I do have.
Yeah.
So in that regard, you shouldn't need a second Barry Allen to team up with. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah,
All
I
right. So
got
if
you.
you want to do that, I mean, we can skip 123. That's 123. Just going
no idea
Oh,
what
120.
things.
123.
Droid.
Yeah. Right. We knew that.
Completely
That is Zod coming back.
Zod.
Zod.
I like seeing Zod kick Superman ass. I like seeing him jump Superman.
Hurtful. Yeah. So if you go to 123 on there, I was like, maybe she was under a red sun before, right? Maybe that's why she's like that.
Like
I
what?
don't know. Like weak like that because in the Flashpoint Paradox, at least in the book, like he was skinny Superman because it kept him under constant observation under a red sun, so he couldn't have the full access of his powers.
I
So maybe
don't
before
remember it
that,
being under a red sun. I thought it was because they had him so far underground he couldn't get the yellow sun. So that's why he was all skinny and sucked.
okay, maybe. I guess I gotta go back and read the comic because it's been a long time on that one.
Yeah,
But I'm
I'm pretty
saying,
sure that's what it was. He couldn't he didn't have
Access it.
access to the sun. And then that's when who that Cyborg was in that story as well.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean Cyborg, fucking Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all of them.
Well,
So
see, and now you're getting to the point is the fact that casting Supergirl is the backhanded compliment of this entire movie. Because technically, if he didn't have access to the sun, whether because of artificial red sun or both, it's like, well, hey, I want you to play the version of Superman that doesn't get to be Superman. Take that. And so now you're going to actually be Superman, but the minute you go out, you don't get a chance to grow, form relationships, go through the stages of, grief, loss, anger, whatever. You just get to go up there and, hey, go fight Zod now. It's like, well, I mean, we did have a Supergirl movie like in the late or the early 80s. Like she had her own storyline. So you've done this before. You've shown us that it can be done, but yet instead of still giving us a skinny or weak version of what you thought Superman could look like, which could have been anybody, you chose to say, hey, that's Kara. That's our weak Superman. Like, do you not see the backhanded compliment for what it is? Someone's telling you can't be Superman. I want you to be the weaker version of Superman that he never got to be.
And now you say that, but we're comparing it to the comic and what could be. But this is their interpretation of the story. So they can easily turn her into a super badass.
The thing is like if you do that though, it's the same thing as Zod. They both got to the planet relatively at the same time and are trying to figure out the powers. That's whack.
Bro, they gonna have fucking like Shuri just beat Namor. We're about to see Supergirl kick Zod ass.
And you know what, y'all? Guess who leads Wakanda? If you look in the comics, guess who leads Wakanda right now? Fucking Namor. Go figure. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was thinking about that. If you want to skip to 145 on there, that's the next thing I got on there.
So Matt says the rumor is that this movie is going to have Baby Kal-El die on Krypton and Supergirl replace him in the Man of Steel storyline. And that's what I mean by with this whole multiverse shit, they can easily excuse any bullshit that they do. So I can easily see them saying that she was here instead of Clark, instead of Superman, and he's basically switched her for Superman, and now he's Supergirl.
But even then, it's like, are you really super? Like, because you got yourself caught. You were like 7 or 8 years older than Clark, so technically you were older than Clark when you left.
But still, in that timeline, she got caught as well. She didn't have the powers, so they caught her early.
You was weak. We sent you out here to be super, and now you just Kara.
She underground,
like she like one of those growing up hip hop kids. Like, yo, we gave you all that you could be. You just wound up being Romeo Miller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's still a backhanded compliment. But if you jump to 145 on there, that's the next thing I got. Unless you want to try to watch this through, it's up to you. But I said 145 is the next thing I got.
All right, so they fighting the ship. Who was the ship? The ship just blew them up. Maybe that was Zod.
Possibly. Zod
it had to be. We just saw him.
It was Zod because he's like waiting for you. So probably.
Yeah. And he came off the ship right here. So okay. So Zod just shot some folks up. He said, "You have one of my Kryptonians. Give him to me, so I can bring him to the dark side." And he said, "Oh, that him is a her. My information was wrong."
Oh.
This it. This y'all boy. This y'all boy.
You are. Yeah. I'm Batman.
I will say here, if you pause that, he's actually happy to be back in the Batman suit. I was talking to Justin Ice about this because even though we didn't have internet back in the day, people gave Michael Keaton so much shit for being cast as Batman because he always done relative comedies before this. And so you're like, yo, you're telling me Mr. Mom's gonna be Batman? And so they gave him a lot of shit before the movie dropped, and like after he won an award, homie had up with the Ray-Bans on, the can't see me's, was like, yo, I'm that guy. Like, you definitely doubted me. I'm still that guy. So to see people come back to him nearly 34, almost 35 years later, say, hey, you're still that guy. I like the fact that he still has that energy, and I'm glad that this is his reintroduction instead of Batgirl. So I mean, I actually was okay with that.
I feel that.
But if you go to 207 in the trailer,
y'all, I don't know if y'all expected to have an actual breakdown of this trailer.
This is my breakdown, guys, because we ain't trying to get hit with a copyright, and y'all saw this when the Super Bowl hit. All right. If nothing else, you were told online when to go check this out. So if you drop it out at 20,
I'm with you though. My approach is point out why this shit is garbage and why we shouldn't waste our time, as opposed
that's
to
why it's my breakdown, bro.
Yeah,
that's why I got the breakdown. So
you
yeah,
said 205,
206, 205, something like that. You know, keep going.
Hold on, let me see the title.
That's Batfleck.
That is Batfleck.
That's Batfleck. So
the thick ass head.
Yeah, that's big ass head on there.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back.
So yeah, so now we got, hey, Flash Yellow and Flash Blue. They're gonna knock shoes and then they're gonna run one off of each other. It's like, okay, we get it. You know, you didn't know what to do with one speedster, so you gave us two. But it's like, it misses why Barry is unique as the Flash in himself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even when we had Flashpoint Paradox, we knew Thomas Wayne killed people. The Joker was his wife. Aquaman with went against Themyscira to form a war. They were different people, but it's like, hey, Barry is still Barry regardless of what happens. But if you're giving us two of them, why is Barry actually unique? Do you see what I'm saying?
I got you.
And then, like, showing this isn't cool at all. It's just showing, oh, there are two of them. It's like, well, now I got two annoying characters running around. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's nuking the entire thing. It's just everyone's seeing this as an ode to the Snyderverse, and it's not. This is completely different. Once they had Machete in them take over, this became a completely different movie. And the people that did don't care about it. Because saying, what's better than one Flash? Two. It's like, is it though? Because that you lose out on why the characters are unique. Because are there two Batman in this universe? Are there two Green Lanterns in this universe?
Supposedly, I think they said a Batman is going to cameo at the end, and that's why I'm still holding on to George Clooney. Yes, it was my favorite one, but it makes sense because if they're showcasing Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman, I remember Christian Bale saying he wasn't coming back unless Nolan was involved. I don't know how true that is, but it's like it only leaves Clooney's Batman to cameo because we already know these other dudes are here. And because we haven't seen Clooney in so long, it just would make sense. You know, he had the Bruce Wayne down packed as well as the Batman. It would make sense that that's the dude with the fucking kid that we're going to see.
Yeah. So if you, all right, I mean that's fine. I mean, if you go to 222 on there,
yeah, it's a Flash movie, but all we're seeing is a lot of fucking Batman.
Right.
At least Spider-Man was Spider-Man. Multiple Spider-Man.
Which one? Who had the most screen time on that one? Tom Holland?
I don't know.
See, I don't know either. All right, go. Can we go to 222?
Okay. You
said
222?
222.
Hold on, I want to see this because they oohed and awed at this.
Lord. Okay.
Oh, super fast.
Boots. They knock boots.
We knocked boots.
Fucking stupid.
There might not be a future.
Because you fucked it up.
Ooh, she kicking Zod ass. She gonna kick Zod ass. Oh, and then when we call bullshit, they're gonna say, "Cause you hate women."
No. Jump to 222. I got you. Go jump.
You hate women.
Jump right to 222. Don't do anything before that. Go straight to 222, sir. 222. Right? We try not to die. Right? Here we go. Play it right there, bad boy. Play that bad boy right there. Hold. Go ahead. Play.
To die.
Oh my God, Supergirl. Go ahead and play. No, if you want to play that one scene out, you can.
Okay, play it out.
Yeah, play that one out.
I want to hear what he's trying not to die.
He said we try not to die. Oh, we kill him now. Oh, yeah. Are you guys okay with Superman killing now? I thought Clark would never do that. Oh, Kara can do it though. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's what we're checking for. We're okay with Superman killing. Cool. I just wanted to make sure. I thought it was just me. No, go ahead, keep playing that out.
Because they killing the evil whites.
Play it out. You mean the humans?
Because you remember in the Batman, when Ryan pointed out the two good black people, everybody else was white except for Batman and Alfred. Well, it's the same shit. Now the white guys, the good ones, they good. They on our side, but the rest of them are pieces of shit. So we can kill them.
We choked throwing news.
Flash ain't running to pick him up.
It's not Clark.
I just wanted to make sure we were okay with
Kara.
this.
I'm
we're Barry. Barry.
Okay. Flash ain't running to catch his ass. Exactly. I don't care about this Ian scene because he said our children. Yeah,
I don't care. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know what? Everything that you guys everything you gave Henry Cavill's Superman shit for, you're letting Kara slide with. Like, oh, Kara would do it, but not Clark. I was like, well, technically, if Man of Steel was based off of Earth 1 Clark, then of course he would. But he categorized it by saying, hey, I don't kill because the one time I killed, it cost me everything. It cost me my last living family member and the last person on Krypton that could have actually related to me. So I do not kill because of that. Like, that was the main point. But like, oh my God, did you see Kara chokeslam that guy off the icy fortress? Man, she would do that, but Clark would never do that. Fuck out of here. All I have to say is, DC, fuck you, and I'm still gonna watch that movie on June 14th.
I'll say this in slight defense. In Man of Steel, you got to see that Clark grow up. So he had those values of his human parents, whereas she just hopped out of a cell, and these are basically her oppressors that she now is able to get revenge on. I'm just preparing you for the excuses, bro. That's all.
So that you and then turn to become the same version of your oppressors. Okay.
But then no, Batman's gonna say, okay, you can only do that this one time, but we don't kill. But they were pieces of shit.
Okay.
Okay. And then Flash, and both of them gonna say time. Yeah, what he said. just on the sideline, just fast.
I fucking can't stand that already, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead though.
All right, yeah, we wind it down because, like I said, I got to get out of here. But to get through these comments, and that's all. I've said what I had to say. I shit all over this. Again, I didn't even watch the multiverse No Way Home with my favorite superhero, so I'm definitely not watching this bullshit when I hated it from the beginning. Ezra Miller as Flash, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton. Yeah, I watched it back in the day. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I didn't really care for it, but I'm just waiting on them to announce George Clooney and his black son. His black son Damien and Talia are gonna be a little light skinned honey. They're gonna have a dark kid. Anyway, we're getting a lot of Batman because the movie screened worse than Batgirl, which they shit can. They know this movie gonna suck, but they can't shit can this one.
It's been testing through the roof. Actually, it's gonna be a big hit. Yeah, it's been testing really high,
right? Because of oohs and ahs, because of the jangling of the keys. But also it makes sense that if you're going to use this movie to expand and show all these different universes and all of that, so creatively it makes sense. Although this execution for the movie looks terrible, it makes sense to keep the Flashpoint Paradox story to highlight the different universes and then to expand on that and go more in depth on a specific universe. What up, Ruben? I see this man everywhere. How did you find out about this, man? Came through. Nice to have you. But John said we got a lot of Batman. Yep, Dempsey. Those white allies was Batman and the Flash, but all the rest of them, they oppress us. So throw their ass off a cliff.
Agreed.
I wish her hair was longer. Man, I wish all of this shit was comic book accurate, or at least a respectful adaptation. The CGI was inspired by She-Hulk. Yeah, she gonna punch through the universe and say, Fix this. How you gonna make me this terrible piece of shit as a woman? We need better representation. And then you're gonna see her with she's gonna be a good guy or something. I don't know. That dude died. That guy flew over 100 yards when she punched him. Yeah, he died. Yeah, he died.
Exactly.
He gonna die from hitting that ice. Shit, if he hit the water, he gonna hit the water hard enough to where his shit just broke and he freezing to death.
His spine.
He just snapped and freeze.
Exactly.
The more you break this straight down, the less and less I'm interested. Where is Henry Cavill?
Thank you.
He ain't coming, man. Look, just like Tim Allen. Unfortunately, he's a part of Toy Story 5, but I want all the great actors to stay away from this shit as much as possible. Kind of like with our conversation about the black people. I want people to say, no, we're not gonna take it. And then you just watch all this shit just implode on itself. And then they go, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Latina swap Supergirl. Yeah, man, put her in a role that's more suitable for, somebody that these people actually look like and highlight those characters.
You could have made her the Question.
I don't know who that is.
Bro, the Question says that there aren't conspiracies, that there's a conspiracy.
So the dude from Watchmen?
Yeah, kind of. But he just has a blank face. Like at some during Final Crisis, it is a woman, like Montoya from
okay,
Batman
so not that series. Dude. Okay.
Batman the animated series. Remember the female cop Montoya?
Yeah.
She becomes the Question.
Okay.
So she was like, yo, I'm she's a detective. They're kind of like detectives. They find there's a grand conspiracy that controls everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones that figure it out. Like, she could have been an excellent Question. Like, you don't belong. Like, the things that's too on the fringe for even Batman, the Question finds.
Okay. Yes, bring back Clooney. Y'all, they're gonna take the nipples off, okay?
I don't believe
we all shut up if they take the nipples off.
No, sir. This is what you get. No, you need this. You need to be humbled, sir. You need to be humbled.
God, take the nipples off.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Every time.
I'll be okay, man.
No, all you need to know is when you see Cleanie and you hear that da 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 da.
My just hard just hearing it.
I know.
No, it's cold in here.
You need to be humble. You need to be humbled, sir. You need this. You need to be humble.
Y'all gonna be humbled when he fucking around and be Damien's. Bro, I can't wait because I don't care. And if I predict this, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh at all of you who hate him.
You're not gonna come to see the movie with me. All right. Don't come and mess this up for me.
I'm not coming to see it. I'm not.
Good. No, actually, no, you're going to, because you saw Batman. Stuntman got you to see Batman. You're going to see Flash with me.
That's because we were, I was being nice. It was early on in our friendship.
Wow. You know what? Okay.
I was like, fine.
I'm going to have to lie to you. Like, hey, yo, AJ, we're going to the gun range. Bring everything you got. I'll make sure, but I'll pick you up.
Shit.
You're like, oh, it's a new gun range. It's in a movie theater. Mm-hmm. This theater, bang, bang. Come on.
You're going to have to, come on, man. You know I'm knowledgeable of what's happening. You're going to have to pitch it
to blindfold your ass. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's a super secret gun shop, man.
Okay.
That sounds bad now that I think about it. No. I said to trick you.
It's all right. We're not the Flaccid. None of that going on. So, all right, let me do these comments, man, so we can hurry up and get up out of here. If your movie is counting on the viewer having 40 years of nostalgia, you may want to reconsider. It works sometimes. Yeah, somebody said it. Was it you, Dempsey? We're talking about Top Gun. Yeah, the nostalgia and the member berries, that shit's great. But story first, how do we get that in there? How do we make it work? But I'm gonna be honest with you, kids, they just see probably Flash and they see Batman, and so people are going to want to take their kids to see superhero movies. But anyway, Clooney can't hurt Batman. No. Clooney, Batman, bat nipples, and rubber lips. Yes. Rubber lips.
That was terrible.
Rubber lips was. You didn't like the rubber lips? I thought it was cool.
Sir, he could just put pesticide on her lips and killed her. That's all I would have done.
He don't kill, and she's a human. She probably look like she got the monkeypox, but that's about it. She's not gonna die.
All I'm saying, rubber lips is terrible.
That was cool. He went in prepared the second time. Come on now, growth.
You never gonna get me. You never.
That's what we live. That's what we want from our characters. Growth.
No. You need to grow out of your love for that movie.
We're gonna watch it. Yo, I told Ego we need to start like watching stuff and making content off of that. Me and him, because we don't really get the time to do it. That's one of the movies, bro. That's one of the movies we doing.
All right.
And I will sit through some bullshit for you, okay?
You gonna sit through the Flash for that? You really want to?
No, old movies.
Okay,
old movies. Something that came before.
Oh, you can set stipulations on what I want, huh? You asshole.
No, even mine. It's old movies. All right, they can't really show Ezra because he is.
You watch Meteor Man.
I've seen that back in the day. I don't have an issue.
I don't care. I'm gonna find when you have issue with. Then we're gonna do it that way. Then.
Okay.
All right.
They can't really show Ezra because he is Ezra, the fast cop runner, the fastest cop runner ever. That's what they focus more on. Batman. Are you talking about running from cops in real life? That's what I had to keep him. He got the skills to pay the bills. Right. That's what I should focus. All right. Thank you, Hale. Thank you, Hale, for dropping those links. He did from the concussive force of the air moving in front of her, first send tornado level shockwave through his body. Then she pushed the goddamn gun into his face.
Exactly. This man pissed off himself and killed himself. Yeah, that's right.
I want to see Henry Cavill as Karaman from Dragonlance, but that will never happen.
I don't know. You have to jump that and link with us later because we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hate that version of the question. Okay, C4C hates that version. Wasn't she made for the series? I thought she was made for the series.
Montoya, I thought she was made for the series, and then she just like Harley Quinn, she was made for the series, and they put her in the comics.
Oh my gosh, AJ, hail the Lord. You know, I say whatever. Let's talk soon. Brahma Bull informed me that you created his avatar. Yeah. So I would like your artistry for creating a logo, letterhead, and branding. I want to support basing creators. All right, Ruben, I got you. I don't do like logos. Like I made this. I wouldn't consider it a logo. I'm very limited with it.
He does a great job with logos. Don't let that man be
so
humble.
that's not exactly logo or graphic design, but Mozamboni is doing some work for me right now. We're trying to work something out, and he is actually into graphic design. So Ruben, if you're on Twitter, bro, I'm like a cartoonist, so I can give you a great illustration of some shit. But if you want actual graphic design work like that, reach out to Mozamboni. I will send you his information and give you that. He is another one of us. I don't exactly know his story, but we've been talking, and he said from his words that he got canceled from his job, and this community has been welcoming. So he's ready to support and create and build over here. So I will send you that, Ruben, and I will help you however I can. But I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. I will gladly send you in that man's direction. So I got you. She's not mature looking enough for the question. Okay. Dempsey with the random Dragonlance reference, 10 points for Gryffindor. I don't. There you go. I'm glad somebody got it, what you was putting down, Dempsey. And get Jeffrey Combs to voice the question.
Maybe that'd be awesome.
The DC Comics question was around like 20 years before Watchmen. Ditko created the character in the 60s. Yeah, I was thinking of Rorschach, not
That's who he's based. I think that's maybe who was kind of based off of.
Okay. Amazing creators. Yeah, it's some of us. We over here. We doing the thing. But yeah, Mozamboni. And I found out about him through Horror Amarada. Nice. We need those nipples for some woke relief.
Terrible.
They can't have the nipples because this symbolizes him being the nipples being hard around women or something. So that's toxic masculinity. So I'm telling you, they're gonna shade them up. You should make a bingo card before you go see it.
Probably will. I'll have you make a bingo card. We'll make that a string. I'll need to make me a bingo card.
No, because George Clooney sucks. Yes. It's awful. AJ Clooney is just awful. Yes. Stop. I can't hear. I'm like Carl. I can't handle it. I'm hearing everything. I'm hearing the wrong shit. Jacob, he said, "What up? I will be on Jacob's channel." Ego, I don't know if you're gonna be there. I know Cannoli gonna be there. I think he said Pops, but we're gonna be on Jacob's channel on Monday. We're gonna be talking about Jurassic Park. Love that movie. Dragonlance is a D&D campaign setting that has a lot of well-written novels. Okay, there you go. There's some D&D. Send to my YouTube. I have been banned on Twitter. Send to my YouTube. You got banned on Twitter. Okay, I didn't know you could send messages on YouTube, but okay, Ruben. I don't know how. Look, I'm terrible with technology, so I'm trying to think of another way to get in contact with you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You're Barmy. Man, I hate that you hold on, Ego.
I'm sorry.
Picking up the flow, man. You flashing shit right now. Sorry. You Ezra Miller in this.
Wow. Good.
Okay, that was better than the flash. All right, he says, "Hey all, what up, man? But we about to get out here. We usually only last about 2 hours. That's about all you need. But we're going over into 3. Got to get out of here soon. Karaman is basically a smarter Conan the Barbarian with the twin brother. That's dope. Thank you, Abomination. Have a blessed day, my brother. You as well, sir. All of y'all. Like Dempsey says, I wish all y'all luck and fortune. Like Ripper says, go be great. Be athletic. Go do something. Move around. If you can't, exercise your mind. Do something for yourself as opposed to always doing for others. I do graphics and art. We need to collab sometime, AJ. Okay, C4C. And I think you really are on Twitter. People, just send me a message on Twitter. Send me a message on Twitter. It seems like the best place to get to me. I am on Instagram, Abomination AJ there as well. This stream is probably 10 times better than this Flash movie is likely to be. Matt, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Godspeed, guys. I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all will catch us next Saturday, same time. Everybody streaming but me. John, you be streaming, man. Again, you inspired me to do some streams and you're highlighting other creators. That's why I'm glad that we did this. Ego, I'm glad you ended up making the channel. You decided to be a part of this with me. We're meeting a lot of great people and we're creating for ourselves. Earlier when I was saying, like, where's the black people creating shit? I'm not saying create black shit to cater to black people, but I'm saying have more ownership, and that goes for everybody. So there you go. We're trying to own things so that we can be around like-minded individuals and get some jobs and some light on some people who fucking deserve it. But because we and them think different, we are made villains in these people's stories. Discord or Gilded. Okay, I am on Discord. I don't pay attention though because too many fucking bells and whistles going off. I suck with technology. I'm outside with my dogs all day. I'm finna go train somebody's dog right now. Finna. If you know someone's YouTube channel, you should be able to find them in Google Messenger. If people use Discord to Gilded, this would be easy. Hell, he's shitting on me. He taking shots. You're a barmy. You'll catch it next time. Thank you. Zax, thank you. Fantastic stream. But what else is new? Great stuff. Oh, man, appreciate that. The pressure. We got to keep bringing it. Y'all, there you go, Dempsey. There you go. I wish you all luck and fortune. I'm playing that outro, and I will highlight all of these comments on the way out. Thank y'all for being here. This shit's been magic. Peace. I'm gonna knock these stickers off. Stays around, stays in our vote, you know?